into the Alabama receivers are wearing glasses. Well, who do we use? Let's use Holly Rose doing the game Saturday, so I'm sure she was in Tuscaloosa this week visiting with the coaches and doing interviews.
Yeah.
What kind of jacket she wears?
It's Heisman. It's a Heisman jacket. See, that adds even more credence. Like, you wouldn't put Holly Rowe in a Heisman jacket.
Do you think this is related to the lights?
No.
You don't wear it in the game.
I know. I didn't know if it was like weighing out.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I've seen some. I mean, Lance is old guy from the Rams, wore rec specs. So
Eric Dickers.
No, I mean, because I think that's the biggest load of crap ever. The lighting stuff. How many dimly lit high school football stadiums have you played in for 4 years?
Yeah, but I mean that's different. We're talking about Memorial Stadium in an SEC school that's got a ton of money.
I'd rather have dimly lit than lights right in my eyes. That's what Bernard was saying. Is the lights are in a place you don't normally play, so they hit your eyes.
Yeah, lighting used to be a problem in football stadiums. In fact, I think it was Charlie Finley tried to get him to paint a different color. That's really why the white stripe is on a football, though, in college, was to help the college receivers see the ball a little bit better. Here's the lights that we're talking about that Alabama plays at with Oklahoma. Interesting stuff. Okay, before we get to trash, our show being brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services, heating, cooling, and plumbing since the 1950s.
Yeah, 205-229-2090. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954. For any plumbing, heating, cooling issue, home or business, you've got out there, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Did you hurt your hand?
It's large. I was able to get the whole thing in my mouth, though.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The weekend is just mere hours away. Football wall to wall. Pick up the delicious taste of Bud Light. We start first with Zootopia 2.
I still want to see this.
Tyler's seen it. You want to see it. I don't really care anything about seeing it, but
the first one was funny.
I've heard it's really good. Both my kids have seen it. Now, a scaly new character from Disney's Zootopia 2 has sparked an unexpected and potentially dangerous trend in China, with young fans buying real venomous snakes resembling the film's breakout reptile. This does seem like a problem.
Well, we've talked about this for years, how cartoons normalize otherwise dangerous animals.
Yes.
And you like the polar bear in the Coke commercials. Polar bears are apex predators. They want to kill you and eat you. Hippos are apex predators. They want to drag you to the bottom, drown you, and then eat you.
So,
but we make them dance in tutus and drink a Coca-Cola.
We've talked, I mean, to symbolize Satan, what was in the Garden of Eden?
Well, it was the snake in the book of Genesis,
snake.
Yes.
Now, this is interesting. I saw this, and Jeeves, I don't know if you've seen it or any of you guys have seen it. They did an experiment with young kids with, obviously, non-poisonous snakes, where they just let the snakes out with the kids when they're playing with, like, building blocks and stuff. And kids just instinctively aren't scared.
Gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
You know what, D? I hate being on this highway with all these 18-wheelers. I don't know what I'd do if I got in an accident with one.
First, call 911 to report the accident, and then hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. Because accidents with 18-wheelers, delivery trucks, and construction vehicles are complicated. Call 1-800-229-7989 or hit them up at Shannara.com. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. We go deeper. We fight harder. We win bigger. Call me, Alabama.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
It may not entirely feel like it, but it is a game day. The college football playoffs begin tonight. Out in Norman, Oklahoma, he is Lance Taylor. I'm Ryan Brown. As you can see, we are in beautiful Birmingham, Alabama. Jimmy Dunaway joins us on the road just outside the Palace on the Prairie. He is in Norman, Oklahoma this morning. It's a nice-looking stadium behind you, Jim. Maybe not a palace. I don't know if I go palace.
I don't know about the palace either. A lot of thoughts. First off, you don't factor in the wind out here in this part of the country when you're looking at the temperature that you're dressing for. I didn't bring any gloves. I didn't bring my toboggan, whatever you call the things to put on your head. So I'm going to wear the same hat I wore yesterday to keep the dome warm this morning. It is going to be a 60-degree day eventually, but there's this thing called a 30-mile-an-hour wind. So you think Alabama's kicking experiences have been fun so far. I just sent it out on social media to look at the flags. I don't think you can see them above me right now, but breezy is the way they're calling it out here. 20 to 30 mile an hour winds today. It'll calm down a little bit by game time tonight, but it'll still be windy when we play the game tonight here in Norman, Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's literally in the song, by the way. The lyrics are in the song, Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains. I mean, it's literally right there in their song.
Hey, what song is that?
Oklahoma, right? Oklahoma, where the wind comes.
Forrester's showing us those flags. Yeah, man, I've seen the play. Long time ago. Yeah. Dunaway, because the kids are out and kids are home for the holidays and stuff, I mean, what is campus like? I mean, is there, I know it's early, it's, 9 o'clock in the morning, but is there any kind of buzz that you saw maybe last night in Oklahoma City? Today, have you seen any Alabama fans?
Yeah, in fact, I just met one. You'll see him on our social media platforms after the show. I'm not really big on socially awkward. Jim hates the thing I hate the most are man on the street things. So this guy's walking by and he looked like a student going to class. He had a black backpack like I did. And I was like, and you can't tell the Oklahoma, Alabama colors apart. And I was like, dude, I thought you guys are y'all still in class this close to Christmas? And he was like, no, man, I'm from out of town. I'm here for the game. And I was like, so a lot of students back for he's like, I don't know. I'm an Alabama fan. I was like, what? So you're an idiot like me. You're here at the stadium 10 hours before kick. And so we'll interview. I got an interview coming up, but there are a few students walking by. Hopefully this building that I'm using as a windscreen right now is not a place that they're asleep behind these windows that I'm talking loud into, but it is pretty dead right now. It's my first experience with the college football playoffs. I can't wait to see it tonight, but so far, not a lot of pageantry. I will tell you the flight I was coming out on that was built, I think designed specifically because Southwest is a partner of the SEC for Alabama fans flying out to Norman. It was probably, let's put it this way. I didn't jump right on and get into the line for Southwest to get my boarding. I waited, and I was B3. Wow. I had a whole row to myself, could recline. There was nobody in the row behind me. There was nobody 2 rows in front of me. It was probably 58 people on the flight, and I would say about 9 of them were overflow from the Alabama charter that were a couple of equipment guys that I know and a couple of sports information people that I know. So I'm going to stick by what I said yesterday. Until I'm proven wrong tonight, I think this will be the fewest number of Alabama fans inside the stadium to see an important Alabama football game on the mainland because of the Hawaii games in maybe the history of Alabama football.
And you can't tell me if Alabama wasn't playing really good football that there would not be much more of a buzz. I'll give you an example. Somebody reached out to me and they were like, hey, I got a couple of tickets. And so I was like, what do you want for them? Well, if you've got somebody up there, they can just use them. So call different people, and like nobody's going, nobody wants tickets. It is the weirdest thing when you think about Alabama football, because it's one thing to go to a destination, like Phoenix or maybe LA where you're spending a lot of money. I mean, that flight was what, $250, $300? Like, I mean, I know it's still money around the holidays, but a lot of Alabama fans, they budget for this kind of stuff. I mean, would you guys agree if Bama just won the SEC, and I know they wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
But I'm saying if they were a top 5 team and they were going in the right direction and the offense was popping, there would be a buzz and people would be traveling to this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Brown, I would say this. We're 2 years into this expanded playoff, and I think you said it earlier this year. We're still too early to make big judgments about how this playoff is going to work. And we're changing it rapidly all the time. And we really don't know, the impact of it, the fan interest of it, how people will travel for 4 games or 5 games if we expand to 24 like the Big Ten wants, added on to a season that seems to get longer and longer. We'll see how it all plays out. But in Oklahoma City last night, which, by the way, isn't as far away as I thought it was. I thought it was Birmingham to Tuscaloosa. It was more like Birmingham to Pelham or Alabaster to get from Oklahoma City. And I'm on the other side of town, too. I drove through downtown to get to Norman. And it was an easy drive. But I went to a great steakhouse last night, sat at the bar. And there were one guy from Dallas that sat next to me. Wedding photographer, can't go to games during the year because, people still get married on Saturdays. So he's taking pictures, and he's a big college football fan. And he's originally from Louisiana, big LSU fan.
Wrong occupation, by the way.
Yeah, it's a bad occupation for a football fan.
And so I'm talking to him, and I'm like, so are you an Oklahoma fan? And he's like, no. And I said, you're a Bama fan? No. Truthfully, I'm an LSU fan. And I was like, well, what are you doing here? And he was like, I don't get to go to games during the regular season. So I wanted to come up and see what it was like. And he got a cheap ticket, and he was up here by himself and rolling in to watch the game tonight, cheering for he's a high school teammate of Brandon Jacobs back there in Louisiana. So the buzz is nowhere compared to the semifinals, which is the last ones we experienced as a show, and Alabama fans as experienced. But it's a big game, and tonight we'll be packed here. A lot of Oklahoma fans and a lot of storylines. So it's a playoff game, and every one you win, just like in the NFL, it gets bigger and bigger.
Lamb Believer says it's BS. It should be normal regular season ticket allotments based on the ticket numbers we've heard. Obviously, it is not. Now, we've heard everything from 200 to 2,000. Either way, that's not normal. Normally, Alabama would get more tickets than that. I kind of disagree. I think if you've earned a home playoff game, I think you ought to have a decided home field advantage. You've earned this. I don't know if it should be normal ticket allotments, but we're pretty new in this.
Yeah, we got to see. I would assume it's a hard sellout, but I don't know.
I think part of what they are counting on is the fact that the road teams probably aren't going to do a ton of traveling when they're big-name teams. Now, Tulane will travel to Ole Miss. I don't know if James Madison's going to travel to Oregon. That is a haul right there. But if you're in Alabama that's going to be in this a lot, if you're a fan and you think you're going to be in this a lot, traveling to Norman, Oklahoma, when you go there, every other year or every third or fourth year, whatever it ends up being, you're probably not going to do that one. And there's several people in the chat that are like, I'm holding out for the Rose Bowl. I'll go to the Rose Bowl. I'm not going to go to this one. Somebody in the chat says, hey, Norman, Oklahoma's a tough place to get to on a Friday of a work week. So you got a lot of factors that are in there, but I think primarily Lance is right. You're not exactly playing great football going into this. It's a tough place to get to. And there are 3 more of these games, if you continue winning, that you'd rather go to than this one.
Yeah, but again, I think this is one of the – and again, this is not like light money, but I think you and a friend can probably get up there and back for around $1,000. And I just think there's a lot of Alabama fans that, that's probably about the same as going to SEC championship weekend. So I think a lot of people probably could knock off on a Friday on December 19th, the Friday before Christmas. I think it feels a lot different for Alabama fans right now in this moment.
Yeah.
That's all I would say. But if they win this game, I think it completely flips, and I think you've got all of this excitement, and people are like, you know what I want for Christmas? I want to go to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, I think you're dead on, especially if they come out and the offense looks closer to what it looked like in the middle of the season than it has the last couple of games. And people are like, hey, this team got healthy. They figured some things out. We can make a little bit of a run now. So let's hop on the bus. Let's go. And it'll be interesting. And this is a fascinating game tonight. We'll talk about it throughout the show. But, there are people that think there'll be points scored tonight. There are people that think there will not be points scored tonight. And I think Las Vegas, I don't gamble as much anymore, and try not to at all. And what's the over under tonight? 40.5?
40.5, yeah.
Speaking of which, we'll talk about that with Fuhrman and find out where all that's leaning. And speaking of that, just an audible for everyone on the show, Fuhrman needs to move up half an hour, so he's going to go with us in about 20 minutes live on his cell, Tyler. He'll be on his cell in case I forget to tell you that. Fuhrman going to join us about 20 minutes. We'll ask him about that because the line is still Alabama, now the underdog at 1.5. Yep. That's the morning line. A total of 40.5 points, somewhere in that neighborhood. But Dunaway, you're saying you're hearing people thinking over is the play, is kind of some of the people you've heard talk about that?
Oh, no. I think everybody, if this helps Lance out on the way he wants to play this, it feels like everybody thinks this is going to be 13-10, 17-13.
Yeah.
Because here's the truth. We talk about how bad Alabama looked in the SEC championship the last time they played a football game. How about how bad Oklahoma looked last time they played a football game against LSU? I mean, that was not a great performance by them either. So both of these teams are not coming off really great performances. The only difference was Oklahoma had a nice win and Alabama got beat in one of the most watched games of the season.
Yep, that is true. All right, we will continue talking about this game as we get the show started today. Let's remind you of our friends from Bojangles. If you've got a watch party tonight and you're like, what do we need to feed the people to watch the games tonight? Bojangles is what you need to feed the people to watch the games tonight. Also, holiday parties, great idea for you as well. For the holiday parties, how about some of those hand-breaded chicken tenders, those delicious Bo Bites, the hand-breaded chicken tender bites that dip in that peach honey pepper sauce perfectly. How about those great sides, the biscuits, the tea, all of that right there from Bojangles. So whether it is a holiday party, a football watch party, or just breakfast, lunch, or dinner today or tomorrow or any day, make it Bojangles. It can always be Bo time.
I don't want to jinx this, but I have not had a problem in the house in a couple of months, and I haven't had anybody reach out to me, hey, man, I've got a plumbing issue, I got a cooling issue, a heating issue. When they do, I always send them to one place, Hemp Hill Services, trust the name, Birmingham has trusted since 1954. For all of those issues, home or business, they can help you out. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there are waiting your call. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. For more information, hemphillservices.com. Hard to stop a train, or 205-229-2090.
Our friend Jonathan Hardison, Fox 6 News anchor, one of the good dudes in the business, texted me last night about, I think it was 10:50-ish, and said, does Hemp Hill replace big screen TVs? No. He was asking for our boy here to my left because he was like, I can't imagine how tough that was to watch.
I will tell you this, man, and including Super Bowls, playoff losses, this is the worst regular season loss I have ever seen in my life.
That's got to stick with you, man. That's a tough one right there.
The 2002 divisional game against the Panthers where Steve Smith walked it off in overtime. The Super Bowl 53 against the Patriots, who only scored 3 points, and then last night. And I don't know how you explain this, because Dunaway, I told Brown, I was like, the Rams are so much better than the Seahawks, but I don't understand it. Like, you're +3 in turnovers, over 500 yards of offense, 16-point lead with basically 8 minutes on the clock. Like, everything that went wrong could go wrong. They converted 3 consecutive 2-point conversions. One was one of the most ridiculous you'll ever see in your life. And, Al Michaels is on there. And by the way, what a shitty job they did on the broadcast by not bringing up what the tie scenario is the entire game. Like,
yeah, I didn't think about the fact, you educated me on this morning. The last 2-point conversion felt like Mike McDonald, just like, man, we're going to play balls to the wall. You educated me this morning. They could not afford a tie.
Oh, yeah, they couldn't afford a tie. They had to.
The tie was a loss for them.
Yeah, a tie is a loss for them. All the Rams have to do is beat the Falcons and then beat the Cardinals with a tie last night. They win the West. They get the number 1 overall seed. So I knew going out for the coin flip, I was like, damn, you got to win this coin flip because you definitely defer, because if Seattle scores first, they're not going for 2.
Yeah.
Then at that point, then the Rams could actually go for 1, and they could actually play for the tie in that situation. But that I couldn't believe they didn't talk about the tie scenario, especially after the Shaheed punt return. But then Al Michaels saying, what a heads-up hustle play by Zach Charbonnet. Zach Charbonnet was like walking back to the sideline. He's like, oh, the ball's on the ground. Instead of kicking it, I'll pick it up.
There was no hustle to that at all. Yeah, he strolled over and grabbed it to toss it to somebody.
It was the most they were so fortunate to be in that situation because he was the only Seahawk around the ball, and he just happened to pick it up.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like last night. I just didn't. I'll tell you what I did. I took a 10 milligram indica and I put myself straight to bed because it was about to get bad. And I have really done a good job of containing myself.
Right.
But I went straight to bed and I really couldn't sleep last night, and it's pathetic. But I don't have any hobbies. I've said it before. I care way too much. And that is devastating because, in my opinion, this is the best team Sean McVay's ever had. Better than 2021. Not even close. This might be the best Rams team of all time. I think 2001, the team that lost to the Patriots, probably is. But this team is really close. And now they're going to get a 5 or 6 seed. And you've got to go through this ridiculous gauntlet in the NFC. And it's nearly impossible. So this is going to be a very, very disappointing season, more than likely. That's all I got.
Well, that was exactly that's exactly what I thought we'd get today. That was it.
Yeah. You don't know what you're going to get, though. I mean, Seattle's road is tougher at the end. You were right yesterday that the Rams win last night. It's over because the last 2 games are basically layups for you guys. But Seattle's got a little test or two still to go, right?
Well, they've got to go to Carolina, which, again, the Rams lost to Carolina, but a pick 6, 2 4th down conversions that turned into touchdowns on those 4th downs. I don't see Carolina beating them. Seattle is so good. And when I ran into their president, he reminded me the Seattle Seahawks under – I forgot the way he put it, but like their last 15 East Coast games are like 14-1. They just don't lose on the East Coast for whatever reason. That's difficult to do. But even if they then they got to go to San Francisco. If San Francisco wins out, San Francisco's got the number 1 overall seed.
It's an important game for San Francisco because they're still in the mix for this thing. That's what everybody's forgetting.
What the Rams need is,
they really?
Yeah,
oh yeah.
San Francisco's 12-5 right now.
Yeah, if San Francisco wins out, they are the number 1 seed overall, and they host Seattle last game of the regular season. Now they've already beaten Seattle early on before Seattle was playing like they are right now. What the Rams need is for Phillip Rivers to find a miracle Monday night in Indianapolis and knock off San Francisco, and then San Francisco knock off Seattle.
Dunaway, we're about to get Lance pulling for Phillip Rivers Monday night. This is where the world has brought us.
Yeah.
We've got a Vandy quarterback as a Heisman finalist and Lance pulling for Phillip Rivers.
Now, I'm one of those that sadly, I can't enjoy the game in the game. But for you guys, I mean, everybody's hyping this up as
game of the year.
Well, the game of the year for sure, but one of the best regular season games in NFL history. I mean, with the implications, I guess it was, right?
It was for me, Jim. I don't know how much I know you had travel, your hotel and all that. I don't know how much you got to watch because I don't even know if you could get Amazon in your room. But that was a highly entertaining football game for me.
It was very exciting on the highlights when I saw the highlights of it.
Yes, yeah.
And as I was eating my steak and drinking my Cuevas, I was sitting there, and I'm kidding. It was some cheap wine at the bar. But as I'm sitting there, I'm following it on my phone, and the Rams are, handling it. And I thought it was over with. And when I checked back, it was in overtime. And I was like, what in the heck happened? So I had to see it on SportsCenter. Just amazing.
Hey, and this could be worse.
I can't classify it as the greatest of all time because I didn't watch it.
Oh, it was fantastic. Trust me, it was a fantastic game.
I gave out at Lance's Lockboard. We had won, I think, 9 consecutive NFL games. The Seahawks -1.5. So not only do I lose to the Rams, I lose the play last night with Seattle -1.5. I mean, everything broke the wrong. I mean, I just can't even put this thing into words.
Let me sum it up for you without Lance's emotions, Jim. In the same game, the Rams got called for a man down the field from the 1-yard line that wiped off a touchdown.
By the way, that was a bullshit call.
It was Terry McCauley.
I cannot believe they did that.
Terry McCauley was even like, they got that one wrong. So a lineman downfield.
I mean, where do you have to be if you're downfield from the 1-yard line?
And he got pulled by the defensive tackle, pulled him downfield.
The defensive tackle pulled him, so he falls in the end zone, basically, and they call him for man downfield.
Kevin Dotson had just gone out, so they bring in backup tackle.
Yeah.
First play they bring him in, he gets called for illegal man downfield on a Terrence Ferguson touchdown. That cost us 4 points.
Yeah, they wipe that off.
And then, the thicker kicker misses his first kick of the year.
After Al Michaels completely butters up the thicker kicker. This guy never misses. What's he do?
Yeah, Harrison Mevis misses a 48-yarder that would have won the game. I mean, I can't, And if I would have told you guys, hey, they go over 500 yards, they're +3 in turnovers, they win the game by 14+.
A punt return for a touchdown, 3 made 2-point conversions, one of which One of which is a backwards pass that Jared Verse.
It hit him in the helmet.
It hits him in the helmet and falls in the end zone, which makes it a live ball. I mean, nobody on the field knows it's a live ball. Zach Charbonnet walks over and picks it up to throw it to the ref, and then they go to actually they didn't do that. They go to replay and rule it a 2-point conversion. Like the plaintiffs were lying against you.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys agree. Like this is one of the best years as far as like high end talent in the NFC. So like getting the 1 seed is so important, and for all of those things to fall in line on a Thursday night game. I mean, that was incredible, and I had people reaching out to me. That game was fixed, and I'm like, they're not going to fix it for Seattle. I mean, you would rather
it for LA.
You would rather have LA in that situation.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a summation of last night. Overtime loss. Great game. If you had no dog in the fight, it was a highly entertaining game to watch. I kept thinking of our boy over here, and I'm like, I bet he is living right now. I mean, a 16-point fourth quarter lead. You win probably 95% of those in the NFL.
Yeah, I was already thinking to myself, because Jack and I are going to Atlanta next weekend for the game, and I was like, man, this is awesome. We win these next two. Like, for the first time in McVay's career, he's got the number 1 overall seed. So disappointing.
Yeah. All right, well, there's Thursday Night Football last night. Very entertaining game. Seahawks control, and the 49ers control their way to the number 1 seed there. All right, we're going to talk some more about the game where Dunaway is, Alabama and Oklahoma, and all the other games this weekend after we remind you about our friends from Alabama Power. Alabama Power wants you to make sure that you understand your bill every month. Is it higher than expected? Changes in energy use could be the reason for that. With Alabama Power, you get the free My Power usage tool. It keeps track of how much energy you are using and when you use it. Great way to spot patterns and avoid surprises. Plus, Alabama Power offers easy tips to help you save. Visit alabamapower.com/mypowerusage to learn how to manage your usage and keep costs in check.
Hey, if you're looking for a really cool atmosphere to watch tonight's Alabama-Oklahoma game, you can do it with our friends at Odie's Tavern. We were out there Wednesday, both locations, Edgewood and the original location in Crestline. They will have the game on, and right after the game, live music, getting ready for the holiday season. Enjoy the great food from Rodney Davis, maybe some of that chili on a chilly Friday with the side of the grilled cheese, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Get in, see Will Avery and that great staff. Birmingham institution, it's Odie's Tavern.
Boy, Bama and Bourbon is dropped. It is on demand. Aaron Suttles. For those that have not watched Bama and Bourbon, the video that Scott pulled from it that we use as our teaser videos about Josh Cuevas. A lot of people are talking about Josh Cuevas. Feels like a weird situation where an Alabama tight end feels like such a critical portion of this game for the Tide, Lance.
It really does. And I'm looking here at some updated Vegas numbers on receptions in this game. They don't even have Cuevas listed.
Yeah.
So, do we assume that he is going to play 100%?
Dunaway?
Yeah, he is going to at least give it a go. He's gotten better and better, I'm told, both on the plane and last night at the hotel. He's improved every day. It's getting better and better. In fact, every tight end is going to be available for this game. It's been a long time since they had no tight ends on the injury report. So as good as you can be. Again, I go back to, I understand and Cuevas is huge. He's important to this offense. Jam Miller's important to this offense tonight for his receptions out of the backfield. Both of those guys, when you're being pressured in the quick pass rush and the easily designs or the check down escapes for Ty Simpson. So having those guys ready to go will be huge. But remember, left guard Cam Dewberry didn't play against Georgia. Parker Brailsford injured for most of the end of the year. How those two are tonight, to me, are the injuries that will decide the game. How much pressure can they prevent coming up the middle and sitting in the lap of Ty Simpson? That'll be the two injuries I'm watching the most tonight. But Cuevas and Jam Miller, obviously anything to jumpstart this offense will be huge.
Yeah, listen, we talk about Cuevas numbers, Josh Cuevas' numbers against Oklahoma, and he was Alabama's leading receiver. But I just think you saw the pass game against Auburn and the pass game against Georgia without him, Jim. That's as bad as Alabama's pass game has looked all season, those two games. And it's not just Cuevas. To your point, pressure changes things too, and the offensive line has been banged up. Jim Miller is the better receiving back between he and Hill, and all those guys have been out, so are in and out of the lineup. But Alabama's passing game hasn't been the same since Cuevas went down.
Yeah, and this offense hasn't been the same since the last time they played Oklahoma, and I really think that broke Ty's confidence. He had been so confident all year long, and he hasn't looked the same since that game because of the disguised pressure that you got from Brent Venables, and then you got it from DJ Dirk, and then you got it from Smart and Schumann, and now it's Venables again. Those are some elite names of defensive football in the SEC, and that's what this Alabama offense has to overcome to keep their season alive here tonight.
Yeah, looking, and as important as Cuevas is, I mean, Jeremy Bernard, a guy that we had on the show with NIL.
Also banged up.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously not 100% healthy, but he hasn't gone over 80 yards in a game since Vanderbilt back the first weekend of October.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got 2 touchdowns over his last 8 games.
Wow.
So, that was, as much as Ryan Williams has disappeared, you could always count on Jerm, and he's just not playing his best football right now.
Yeah, and then
I would say since that Missouri game, that deep pass threat has not been the same. Even when Ryan Williams drops that one at Georgia, he's open and he has a chance to walk in a touchdown. That stays you in your mind as a DB, and that opened up a lot of things that night in Athens. So, man, if they could just hit one of those deep early on tonight, I think that would change the course of the game.
Before Dunaway tells you about the Pants Store, I want to remind you we're going to be at the Pants Store today, the one in Hoover. Jim obviously is out in Oklahoma. Lance and I will be there with our friends from Folds of Honor and Anheuser-Busch. We have got a shopping spree for 3 young ladies from a military family there, and they are going to shop on the Pants Store dime. Such generous people there at the Pants Store to take care of the families of our military and Folds of Honor. So we'll be there, the Hoover location, 3 to 4-ish, but around 3 o'clock if you want to come out and say hello, talk a little football with us, do some Christmas shopping at the Pants Store, and thanks to military families for making sure they protect the freedom that you enjoy every single day as a citizen of this great nation. But, Jim, the Pants Store is great anytime, not just today in Hoover.
Yeah, especially this holiday season. Not too late to get by one of the stores or to order online at pantstore.com. Pantstore.com, and the great locations in Huntsville and Auburn and Tuscaloosa, the one at Hoover that Brown's talking about, and all over Birmingham. You get the great name brands like Gentile and Tigua, Cutter and Buck, and so many more for the ladies as well. Pantstore.com, free alterations and free gift wrapping. You can't beat that.
You cannot. Yeah, I hate gift wrapping, and that's don't do it very often. Free is a great price on gift wrapping. All right, we are going to talk about all the line movements, the point spreads, everything for this weekend's games, including the one where Jim is right there in Norman with Todd Fuhrman of CBS Sports. He joins us earlier than normal next here on the Next Round.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
You know what, D? I hate being on this highway with all these 18-wheelers. I don't know what I'd do if I got in an accident with one.
First, call 911 to report the accident, and then hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shinara trial attorney, because accidents with 18-wheelers, delivery truck, and construction vehicles are complicated. Call 1-800-229-7989 or hit them up at Shinara.com. Alexander Shinara trial attorney. We go deeper. We fight harder. We win bigger.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. 3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
All right, Todd Fuhrman is going to join us momentarily to talk about all the point spread movements and his thoughts on all the games this weekend. Before he does, Lance told you he did not sleep well last night.
Everyone needs quality sleep. You need to get that 8 hours. Our buddies Woody and Joe O'Neill want to help. Our friends from O'Neill Medical and CPAP Plus. If you're on a CPAP, listen up. Friends at O'Neill Medical, CPAP Plus, running their Show Your Score promotion right now. Stop by one of their stores, Pelham, Trustful, Inverness on Highway 280. No appointment needed. Show your ResMed My Air Sleep Score. Automatically entered to win a brand new ResMed Air Mini travel CPAP worth $900. The Show Your Score raffle is only running through the end of this month, the 31st, so don't miss out. Get all the details, o'neillmed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
All right, let's talk to Todd Fuhrman, CBS Sports, at Todd Fuhrman on social media. That's where you find him. He is with us now on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. What is up, Fuhrman? How are you, buddy?
I am doing well this morning, Brownie. All I can hope is that LT had a little Rams plus 1.5 in his pocket last night to provide salve to the wound for the game that got away, and it never really even looked all that competitive at 30-14, that's for sure.
Do I have terrible news for you?
Fuhrman, I gave out Seattle minus 1.5.
The worst possible beat.
That is the ultimate definition, LT, of the Polish middle there. You don't get the win for your favorite team, and you lose a bet instead of going money line. So I feel for you this Friday morning.
I talked to a capper this morning, and he gave out the Rams on money line. So
even worse.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain that. Like, watching this, the Rams are so much freaking better than that team. I just thought it was a bad spot for the Rams, but I can't even explain that. I mean, what did the books look like? There were so many things that came into this. The overtime prop, I even took a look at that myself. Didn't do it, but like everything that could have gone down went down last night.
And the books took good two-way action on it. Unfortunately for them, you had professional bettors that fell on both sides of the ledger there that got ahead of the line move and bet Seattle when they opened as a short home underdog. And then folks coming in closer to post looking to try and take the Rams plus 1.5. So the middle didn't work in the book's favor on the side, but the one thing that did help with the total, you just had one-way traffic coming in under money that started at under 46 when the weather forecast looked to be a lot worse than it actually was. And it didn't really even stop right before kickoff. We got as low as 42, and at least for the first 30 minutes, you thought that ticket was going to have a puncher's chance, and then the game got rather loose in the second half before we know the unfortunate sequence of events. Craziest part about it is if you look at the live money line and the price tags that were out there, I mean, the Rams were massive favorites when they intercept Sam Darnold inside the 5-yard line. And at 30-14 with about 9 minutes to go, you think the Rams are just going to take the air out of it, run the football, pick up a few first downs. and it's good night, sweetheart. But as we know in the National Football League, you never get to cash a ticket until the game goes final.
By the way, I didn't include this in my rundown earlier, my non-emotional rundown for the audience. That was the first NFL game to ever end on a two-point conversion in overtime.
Oh, I know.
In the history of the league. Now,
I think Seattle was like 0-272 and losing by 15 or more in the fourth quarter. The Rams were like 300 and something when leading by that much. It was just insane.
Yeah, the sequence of events it took for those scenarios to unfold, absolutely incomprehensible. But you mentioned the two-point conversion, Brownie, and I think what's fascinating about it, since the NFL changed the rules, in my opinion, I don't understand why any of these teams are taking the football first in overtime. You want to be able to defer and have that opportunity to go for two. And for those folks that thought that Mike McDonald should have kicked the extra point, do you really want to give the ball back to Matthew Stafford with more than 2 minutes to go and allow them to get in a field goal range?
No.
Absolutely not. Win or lose, you try and do it on your racket. And credit to the Seahawks for finding a backup tight end that leaked out in coverage and was able to, collect that two-point conversion.
All right, let's talk about the game tonight. Dunaway is out there, Fuhrman, so I know you're about to hit a plane. Jim was on with us first segment. He'll be back with us at 10. You're about to hit a plane, so shoot Dunaway a text. You two can connect out there in Norman. He's already at the stadium, in fact, so he's going to be hanging in Norman all day, I would imagine. Oklahoma started as the dog, flipped to the favorite. They are a 1.5-point favorite after opening as a 1.5-point dog. As the week is going, it has flipped to Oklahoma. Is this the smart money that is coming in late on Oklahoma?
Not a surprising move for me. I know when we previewed this game this time last week, guys, I said that my numbers made Alabama about a 1.5-point favorite on a neutral. But given the value of home field and, of course, a very limited sample size in the current college football playoff, that I was going to give OU about a 4-point bump for what should be an electric atmosphere tonight. And so seeing the favorite flip didn't come as a big surprise. I do think you're going to get good two-way action, though, as it looks like a slight public lean on Alabama, thinking the Kalen DeBoer's team won't lose twice to the same Oklahoma outfit this year. But I think the surprising move for some of the bettors out there that have monitored the market is the over money that came in. Total dipped as low as 39.5. We're now out to 41. And when you have a couple of offensive-minded guys in the OC for OU and Ben Arbuckle, Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb with extra time to prepare, you need more things to go right for this game to come in under the total. And even in the first meeting, we saw that number close at 45.5. You didn't get an offensive fireworks show by any stretch of the imagination, and it still went over the closing total or what the total would be for right now's game going into tonight. So I can understand why we saw some over money and Alabama money or Oklahoma money as well.
Are there any liabilities as far as these 8 teams that are playing this weekend as far as future money to win national championship for the books out there?
Have not heard much. There is a little bit of Indiana money that came in at prices around 10 or 12 to 1, but a lot of that was offset by the Buckeyes. The biggest tickets that I've heard of that are out there all on the Miami Hurricanes. When it looked like they were going to be on the outside looking in, we saw prices at a lot of national books drift out to 200 to 1. Now, it doesn't mean there's liability there, but there are some massive paydays for those folks that had the foresight to kind of roll the dice and think that Miami would get the inside track over Notre Dame, despite what the selection committee was telling us for all those weeks on those Tuesdays.
Speaking of them, let's talk about them. Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, Kyle Field, 11 o'clock Central Time. Miami with a coach that's undependable in big games. Texas A&M with a history that's undependable in big games. Where do you go on this with an A&M favored 3?
This Miami storyline is still fascinating to me. If you'd have told me that Manny Diaz was going to win an ACC championship before Mario Cristobal, I would have laughed at you guys before the year. But here we are. Mario's got a chance to erase all that went wrong in ACC conference play with a big win on the road in College Station. We've seen money come in on the Canes as a 4-point dog, number trending towards 3 at a lot of prominent books. The bigger move, though, has been on the total. 51.5 is where this market peaked. We're now looking at a 48 kind of painted across the board. And you have a defensive-minded head coach in Mike Elko on one side. You have a very conservative head coach in Mario Cristobal on the other. And it's a question of which of these two head coaches will trust their quarterbacks to make the big plays required to win a game of this magnitude. We know Carson Beck has played in hostile territory before when he was under center for Georgia, but Miami hasn't exactly gone through a road gauntlet this year. It'll be the first time all season they're going to be forced to use a silent count, which Carson Beck said we'll see how the team can respond. And on the other side of it, A&M, in my opinion, was a beneficiary of playing one of the softer SEC schedules that you could put together. And while people point to the run defense that we have seen from the Aggies, if you back out a lot of the sack yardage that they were able to accumulate, I mean, this is a below-average run D. So if Miami's able to establish the ground game and get Malachi Tony involved on the outside, look, I think Miami is a live underdog, but I'm more on board with going under the total here in the first half. I think we're going to see a conservative game plan out of the gates.
Second matchup on Saturday, we saw it earlier this year in Oxford. Ole Miss rolled 45-10. Big difference here. Both of these coaches, new jobs. No Lane Kiffin. Pete Golding takes over. John Summerall is balancing two jobs as they come into this. With that number at 17.5, and I don't know about you, I think the favorite's probably the play here, Fuhrman, but do you think it would be a little more inflated if Lane Kiffin was still the coach of Ole Miss?
I would be closer to 20, honestly, if Lane was still on the sidelines in Oxford for the game tomorrow night. So you can see the adjustment down, but I do say that Ole Miss's coaching staff, having 2.5 weeks to prepare, may go out there and play with a little bit of chip on their shoulder. I mean, we've seen how the players have responded to the comments in the wake of Lane's departure, and it feels like an us-against-the-world type mentality, which I think to a certain extent gets offset by the fact that this Ole Miss team absolutely drummed Tulane 45-10 in the previous meeting. So you don't know if they're going to get lulled into that false sense of security. The other thing about this Green Wave side that doesn't make them a compelling underdog for me is there's just not much on the defensive side that leaves me brimming with confidence. I mean, this is a far cry from the teams that we've seen from John Summerall over the last couple of years. And if Tulane gets themselves behind the 8 ball early, Trinidad Campbell starts out hot, there's not much in the passing game to get excited about with Jake Retzlaff. They need to play a little bit of keep away and ball control, and I just don't think Tulane is built to do that. The angle that I'm looking for if Ole Miss wins this in a runaway is hoping that we get a shorter price to lay with Georgia, knowing that Kirby Smart will put this Ole Miss coaching staff brains into a pretzel in the quarterfinal matchup.
Oregon is playing the late game on TNT. That Ole Miss game also on TNT, 6:30. The Ducks right now, Fuhrman, as a look, 20.5-point favorites, total around 46.5. I mean, James Madison can't make this interesting at all, can they? There just does not seem to be a path for them to do that.
Well, there's enough bulletin board material if they were listening to Nick Saban's comments calling them a AAA equivalent of trying to win the World Series. So we'll see if JMU takes the us-against-the-world mentality. But again, another head coach that has one foot out the door. Bob Chesney, of course, takes a job in Westwood to try and revitalize the UCLA program. I'm a little bit surprised in how much this number has moved. We did get as high as 23 early on in the process. Now dipping below that 3-touchdown threshold, I anticipate we're going to see some Oregon money. For me, the angle that I'd want to take is if I can lay 10 in the first half with Oregon, that's where I want to go. And I'm not sure that the market's going to get there. I apologize for the sound in the background, guys. It is an all OU fan base sitting in this terminal. I haven't found one piece of Alabama merch on any of the folks boarding the flight out to Norman for the game tonight.
Oh, no.
So, Fuhrman, I am guessing if Alabama does win this game, Indiana will open as a 5-point favorite?
That would be light for me. I make Indiana closer to 7 against Alabama with a total that would sit in the high 40s. And I think the under would be extremely intriguing. You're looking at the number for Indiana and Oklahoma versus or Indiana, Alabama, going to be very similar in that 7-point range. The difference being is that you would see the Alabama total open about 9 or 10 points higher than what you would if it's Oklahoma.
So that's a commentary on Alabama's defense?
It's a commentary on, their ability to move the ball as much as anything else. I mean, I don't think people have, Bama's stop unit graded out the same way as OU's, but also the capabilities for them to move the football a little bit more effectively, especially in a neutral atmosphere at the Rose Bowl, than what I believe we'll see tonight in Oklahoma City.
Damn, I think I'd have to grab me some 7. If Bama wins this game getting healthier, plus 7 against Indiana, as much as I like this Indiana team, that seems like some value.
And keep in mind, too, LT, so much can change with public perception. As we know in the NFL playoffs, we see it all the time. If one of the two teams comes out tonight and looks dominant, you're going to see odds makers forced to adjust their numbers accordingly. And look, last year we saw all 4 teams that got a bye through the first round of the playoff really get out of the gate sluggishly and, fail to go out there and execute. We'll see if that trend continues with the new seeding format. I don't think that'll be the case, but it will be interesting to see when we get those quarterfinal numbers on the board late Saturday night.
Hey, and one final NFL question. With the Rams losing last night, more than likely not getting home field, I don't know what the Super Bowl odds, how that shifted. Obviously, they had to shift. I would assume Vegas, even after that game, still believes, power ranking-wise, that the Rams are the best team. So do you think you can grab a little value right now with the Rams, with that ridiculous road they're going to have as far as getting a future ticket?
It was exactly what I was looking to try and happen. Unfortunately, odds makers didn't comply with my wishes. The Rams odds didn't move at most national books.
Wow.
Even with their road to getting to Santa Clara being that much more difficult, I think if you want to make a case for the Rams, should they not be the number 1 seed, you're going to be better served to bet them on a money line rollover. The problem for them is most likely they're going to have to go out on the road across the country to take on a Bucs team that'll be getting healthy at the right time. A much trickier game on paper wild card weekend than it would appear right now, but I still think the Rams are the number 1 team to beat in the NFC. Their road just got significantly more difficult, although 2 very winnable games for them to close the season compared to the Seahawks, who now have to go out, play the Panthers, and then what could be a win type scenario for that number 1 seed against the 49ers on the final Sunday of the regular season.
All right, he is Todd Fuhrman. He is about to hit the road to Oklahoma City, so he can go watch this game tonight up there in Norman. So safe travels, Fuhrman, on the flight there, and check out Dunaway. You two hug, all right? Give him a bro hug. You two make up.
I'll make sure I do what I can to try and find Dunaway in the crowd. I'll shoot him a text now, guys. Enjoy the games this weekend. Should be a hell of a lot of fun.
All right, buddy. Be careful. We'll see you next. Actually, we won't see you next week. Have a great Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy everything. We'll see you in January.
Thanks. Same to you guys as well, and all of the Roundtable listeners.
All right, buddy. Take care. Fuhrman with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. Still calls us the Roundtable.
Old school Roundtable.
After all these years.
Yeah, I'm
Shows
looking
you
at
how far back we go with Fuhrman.
Updated odds: Super Bowl 60, Rams plus 490, Seahawks plus 550. And then it starts dropping. Bills plus 800. Tell you, man, a ticket to look at would be the 49ers plus 1,800. Still with those injuries, they don't have the pass rush they had. They don't have Fred Warner, one of the best linebackers in football. But, man, if they get the number 1 seed, you can get them at 18-1 right now. All they got to do is win out. They're going to be favored in every game coming up because, they go to the Colts where they were a 5.5-point favorite against Phillip Rivers. They host the Bears, and then they host the Seahawks.
So you think that's the value play right there?
I think it is, at 18-1.
Yeah.
What a job that Kyle Shanahan's done, too, with all these injuries.
He really has. Yeah. Pretty crazy. I mean, they've flown under the radar.
Yeah.
That guy can play a coach, obviously. You can make the argument that 2-point conversion, like the Super Bowl team out of the NFC, came down to that play. I mean, when you look back on it, you can make that argument.
Or any of those 3 2-point conversions.
Any of them, yeah. You miss any of them, you're in bad shape. Urology Centers of Alabama, UCA. When it comes to your urological health, Urology Centers of Alabama is the place to go. UrologyCentersAlabama.com, UrologyCentersAlabama.com, or 205-930-0920. That's the number to call. Everything from kidney stones to the entire vasectomies, the entire urological system. 205-930-0920 for UCA, Urology Centers of Alabama. Tyler, let's hear from some of the participants in this game. So Fuhrman just mentioned the image of Oklahoma's defense versus the image of Alabama's defense. Like, I don't think most people put those in the same class, do they? You understand what I'm saying?
You think most people view Oklahoma's defense as much better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think they view them as close?
I mean, probably. Like every national person I've heard talking about this game, they talk about Oklahoma as having a top 5 defense.
Right.
Now, yeah, I mean, I think it probably is a little bit different, but I mean, Alabama's defense is not far off. I mean, statistically, it's right there.
We're going to get more on that in a moment, but first, Ty Simpson's the guy that's got to face that Oklahoma defense that is so good. Asked by the media what he does to calm down leading up to a big game. Do you have any sort of routine you do to calm down? Like if you're in a big moment, you need to calm down?
I have heard some exercises. I don't necessarily put them in practice because I haven't had any big moments in a long time.
I don't have big moments. That's how I stay calm. I just have big moments.
But I don't know. I'm interested to see what his answer is here.
I bet you could never guess it. Here is what Ty Simpson does to calm down before big games.
Ty, you've obviously played in a lot of high-pressure games, but it just keeps moving up and up and up. Curious what you do maybe leading up to a game to step away from football. What do you do to kind of calm down, relax, to take some of the pressure off of you in the lead up to one like this?
Yeah, so in high school, right, like I kind of just did my own thing. It's kind of changed now. In college, I listen to country music every time before a game. So, whether it's Morgan Wallen, Riley Green, Luke Combs, gets me in a mode, right? Feel back at home. But a game like this, right? Whether it's like a pregame meal or in the hotel room, I'll watch Seinfeld. Just kind of, gets me in a little, in a happy mood. Just, sitcom, right? Like stupid funny.
Seinfeld. I've never heard that one.
Yeah.
How do you calm down before a big moment? I don't like Seinfeld.
Now I got to know his favorite episode.
I bet. Yeah. If we get a chance to interview Ty, I don't know if he's going to go to the NFL or what, but between now and next season.
Scott says he knows Ty Simpson's favorite character. Who is it, Scott?
He was asked later in the presser who's his favorite character. It wasn't a great answer, but he did say
Kramer. Yeah. I think that's the most popular answer.
Yeah. Are you guys?
George is the right answer. But.
I think we've asked. So, are you more Curb or Seinfeld? Both of you guys in the back room.
Seinfeld. I haven't seen Curb yet.
Yeah, I don't have HBO, so it's Seinfeld.
Okay. You guys would love Curb.
It's God. There are so many episodes too. I really need to go watch it.
Oh my gosh.
I've picked and chosen some episodes to watch, and I do. That's very funny.
It's incredible. I mean, it's Seinfeld with a lot more controversial takes.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, it's a little more what you couldn't get away with on network TV.
Yeah, I mean, Larry David is one of the few people that can get away with the stuff he gets away with.
Right.
I just, Seinfeld, I thought it was good. I just never was all in it. But Curb is just next level comedy for me.
Yeah. Seinfeld, how he calms down. All right, now cut 8. So I started by talking about the defense that Ty Simpson is going to have to face. And a lot of people say, well, Oklahoma's defense. Alabama's defense has been pretty dang good this year.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, they're 12th in scoring defense, giving up a little over 17 points per game. On the other side, Oklahoma is 7th in total defense, in scoring defense, giving up 13.9 points per game. So it's pretty close. I mean, less than 4 points.
So Kane Womack asked that. Is that like a chip on the shoulder thing for Alabama's defense that everybody talks about Oklahoma's defense of the game and maybe Alabama doesn't get the praise they deserve?
Oklahoma's defense obviously has been talked a good bit about, and for good reason because it's a good defense. But do you sense your guys wanting to maybe prove something to show how good of a defense that you have?
Well, I think anytime you're going up against, not only a good offense, but you know what is happening on the other side of the ball. You recognize what they're doing defensively, and I think rightfully so they have gotten a lot of praise on defense, and I think that was a challenge for us in the first game. Let's make sure we are the most dominant defense on the field, and like I said, in the first game, you can point to just about every marker where we were, with the exception of taking the ball away, and that to me is what, ultimately, scoring defense and takeaways. If there are two markers that we should be judged on as a defense, it's how many points are we giving up and are we taking the ball off of people? And it doesn't matter how they got the ball or where they get the ball or what the situation is. Can we find ways to stop people, and are we giving our offense more opportunities to score? And we didn't do a good enough job of that in the first game, and that, ultimately that was a deciding factor.
I mean, boy, I tell you, they did everything they could in the first game. My gosh, they were constantly put in terrible situations. And I know, listen, that's his coach. That's a coach talking like a coach, but they were constantly put in terrible field position situations by their offense and special teams, and they allowed 200 yards in a modern-day college football game. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, look, I know this is so obvious in most settings, like turnover margin. Whoever wins the turnover margin is going to win the game. Last night, Rams +3, lose the game. But in this situation, I can almost guarantee you who wins the turnover margin is going to win this game.
Last year in Norman, the last time these two teams played in Norman, it was an all-systems failure for Alabama. That was really the one game at the end of last year. At the end of last year, Alabama's defense started playing well. That was the one game where it was a bit puzzling. You're like, Oklahoma's quarterback can't throw the football. Like, this kid can't complete passes. He can't throw it in the ocean. And he's running up and down the field. How is this quarterback running this much, Well, and I think Jackson Arnold had 140 rush yards in that game.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting about this, because John Mateer, his over-under on rushing yards is 35.5. That thing goes under. He's not going to be able to throw the foot. Like, miraculously, John Mateer is just not turning this thing around, and it's not like he's going to be, letting it fly all over the field. I mean, their path to victory to me is, special teams, flipping the field, getting a short field with a turnover, and then, one or two big plays offensively, and that's it.
Yeah. We'll talk much more about that. Dunaway going to rejoin us after the top of the hour. Reminder, Bojangles can take care of you tonight. If you've got that watch party at your house tonight, or you got a holiday party in your office or your home coming up soon, Bojangles can cater that for you. Bojangles has those great hand-breaded chicken tenders, the biscuits, the sides, those Bo Bites, the hand-breaded chicken tender bites that you can dip in that peach honey pepper sauce. Fantastic for you at Bojangles. And right now, get that 6-piece Bo Bites. Great idea for lunch. So whether it is breakfast tomorrow morning, lunch, dinner, or your holiday parties, you can make it bow time with Bojangles. Tyler is going to give us our viewing menu. It's presented each day by Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, 205-969-8100, the number I called way back in 2003. Got the procedure done. I had the 2200 vision, was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After the procedure, 2015 vision, better than 2020. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jim Michelson, best in the business. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy Toe. The next round sent to you. For more information, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
All right, first we've got a new release tonight, The Housemaid. Trying to escape her past, Millie, played by Sydney Sweeney, accepts a job as a live-in housemaid for the wealthy Nina, played by Amanda Seyfried, and Andrew Winchester, played by Brandon Sklenar. I don't know who that is. But what begins as a dream job quickly unravels into something far more dangerous, a sexy, seductive game of secrets, scandal, and power.
Oh, sexy and seductive, you say?
Yeah.
Wait, so you're telling me that Sydney Sweeney's going to show them titties off again?
She's going to be in something that is sexy and seductive? No.
Man, she is all about chasing a check. I mean, she works all the time.
Yep. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody's going to go see this movie.
What's it called again?
The Housemaid.
The Housemaid. Let's see what the reviews look like.
Half the country's mad at Sydney Sweeney, and then the other half is mad at Amanda Seyfried right now.
Oh, so this is a disaster.
Wait,
what do you do?
This is going to be terrible.
Wait, what's the controversy with these two?
Well, Sydney Sweeney, she put on a pair of jeans.
Yeah, that one is the most bizarre controversy I've ever heard.
I thought they were mad at American Eagle or whatever.
Well, but she was the actress in it. What did Amanda Seyfried do? What did she do?
She left a comment on Instagram about Charlie Kirk, and people were very offended.
Yeah.
So
this is a terrible combo. You got both sides
pissed. This is going to be a certified bomb.
Yeah,
Sydney
sounds
Sweeney
like it.
has yet to be in a very like profitable movie other than Anyone But You.
So
Glenn Powell.
77%. So that's not bad at all. I kind of want to see the Christie movie. Boy, she looks so rough in that. But because I watched that documentary on Netflix about Christy Martin.
That's
but the reviews
another
weren't
one
great.
that bombed because of Sydney Sweeney and her persona right now.
Wow.
Yeah, jeez. I know Sydney. I know it's so bad for her right now.
Well,
I bet people would let her come over for Christmas dinner, right?
The people that were really championing her aren't going to go see a movie about a lesbian boxer.
Okay.
And then the people that do want to see that movie are mad about the
her,
American Eagle.
Okay.
thing. So
Hey, Jeeves, that's a
heck
good
of a
common
breakdown.
sense way to break it down.
Heck of a breakdown.
next up,
The old lesbian boxer.
I mean that's the story of Christy Martin. Marty Supreme, the new Timothy Chalamet movie. This unfortunately is not playing here today, but it is a limited release until next week. So if you're in a bigger market like Atlanta, New York, LA, you'll be able to see it. 1950s New York. Marty Mauser, a young man with a dream no one respects, goes to hell and back in pursuit of greatness. And this is going to be based on the story of Marty Reisman, a champion ping pong player. And it stars Timothy Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, Tyler, the Creator, Kevin O'Leary, a.k.a. Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, and Fran Drescher.
Okay, so tell me how a
Fran Drescher back, huh? Wow.
Yes.
How a ping pong player goes to hell and back.
The Safdie brothers are directing the movie, so it's going to have like an Uncut Gems kind of vibe, I think.
Oh.
And they're taking some liberties with the story of this champion ping pong player.
Okay.
I think you take liberties. Nobody knows the story. So go
Timothy
ahead.
Chalamet wants that Oscar. He says this is the greatest performance of his career.
Okay.
And then finally on viewing menu, if you have Peacock, you can get into an entire franchise this weekend because they've added Saw, Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, Saw 7, the final chapter, Jigsaw, Spiral, and Saw 10.
So wait, Saw 7 wasn't in fact the final chapter, as it turns out. Yeah.
Did you have any idea? I would have said Saul probably shut it down at 3.
Yeah. That's a lot of
They
Sauls.
were coming out yearly at one point.
Yeah. All right, that is Tyler's viewing menu. Thank you very much, Tyler. Before we head back to Dunaway up in Norman, Oklahoma, a reminder, our buddy Greg from Pell City, he'll get up on that roof for you. And make sure it's set for Santa Claus to be up there in a few days. Greg from Pell City, Storm Restoration Roofing. Whether you've had storm damage on your roof or you may just be in need of a new roof, Greg can take care of that for you. Let him get up there and evaluate it and tell you how much life is left. We've heard from members of our audience like, hey, Greg came down that ladder and said, you got 3, 4, 5 more years left. Don't change that roof right now. That's the honesty you get with Greg from Pell City. He's also got a builder's license, so he can do some of the small construction projects for you in addition to your roofing, and he's got a new roof cleaning system. It helps you with insurance. It helps your house just look better, and it's safe. So you let Greg come out and look at that for you. I'm just going to give you a cell number right here, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531, or Greg from Pell City on Facebook. We head back to Norman next on the next round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Oh, watch out, lady. What are you doing? Oh, wait. Come on, man. Shouty just destroyed my whip.
Say, little man, you need to call Alexander Sonara, man.
What the hell? Yeah, Alexander Sonara trial attorney. I heard they get you paid quick, fast, and in a hurry. With 500 attorneys. And staff holding it down for clients they've represented in 50 states. 659-777-7777. Or Sonara.com. Alexander Sonara trial attorney suing the insurance company, not the individual. Call me, Alabama.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
This hour of the next round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Just a heads up to the staff here. Doering may also be calling an audible here, so we may have a time change coming up with Chris Doering. He'll join us this hour. He is Lance Taylor. I'm Ryan Brown. Tyler, Scott, Brooks, the entire crew is here. Dunaway is out in Norman, Oklahoma. You've changed locations. Have you found more wind blockage or more sunshine, Jim? Which of the two?
I chose sunshine, Brown, but that has brought wind more into play. So I don't know if that was smart or not. Actually, if you want to know the truth, I'm regretting not doing it from back at the hotel. There was this great ice rink with Christmas decorations outside the hotel, which would allow me to go back and forth inside if I'd chosen to do that between hits, and would have had access to coffee. And what I'm learning now, most importantly, is electricity, because that first segment burned through 33% of my battery on the phone. So that's why I dropped off during the Fuhrman. We'll try to Apollo 13 this thing to the end here, but kicking around at 67% on the charge right now, starting with 100.
All right. Well, Doering coming up at the bottom of the hour now at 10:30. So that's going to give you another chance to go warm up, charge that baby back up for the final hour.
No, that was my point. There's no place to go.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you probably could get in the car and make it back.
There's a story with that too. You want that one?
Yeah, let's do that one. Let's do that one.
On game day, like I've got a parking pass. But that parking lot's not open yet. And between the show, there is 7 hours between the end of the show and the start of this game. So I was going to go eat at some point. So I didn't want to burn my one pass into my parking deck anyway. But eventually I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and do it and just Uber to eat. But they won't let you in yet. It's too early to go into my parking spot. So everywhere else I go, it's like, without permit, you're going to get towed. Without permit, you're going to get towed. Well, I'm not going to pay $300. So I found a park on the other side of the stadium, where kids play and everything. Nobody's out playing because it's so cold. And so I pulled into one of those parking spaces. There's no signs. Hopefully I don't get towed there. Like a school that wasn't an elementary school, they had their whole parking lot. Their PTA makes $50 a park on game day. So they cancel school and their PTA racks up, but it was as I watched on my watch when I walked back, you never know when you're driving how far you've driven away from a stadium. 2.24 miles to walk back to where I am right now.
Wait a minute. You're 2 miles from your car?
2.24.
Okay, so that's only going to take you 45 minutes.
Yes.
That's exactly right. As I was walking back, a little bit through downtown, I think, I don't know, whatever downtown looks like here. I was like walking. I was like, am I walking towards the stadium? How far did I go? 2.24 miles.
Okay, so literally, you could drive back to your hotel in Oklahoma City quicker than you can walk back to your car across campus.
That's accurate.
That's the truth.
Wow. He unfortunately has to walk to do that drive, though.
Yeah. Hey, in the hotel that LT picked, man, it's I was a little worried.
I didn't pick it, but
I was like, oh, LT got me good here, because it's not near downtown, and I'm getting off at the exit. And in the old days, when you would get off at exits and there would be like, you'd see like pawn shops and strip clubs, you were worried, right? Well, modern day world, you're getting off and it's pawn shop and what's it called where you buy marijuana?
Dispensary, weed joint, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm getting off at where my hotel at this point is only 0.5 miles away, and it is not a good looking neighborhood. 4 dispensaries. 2 pawn shops.
Well, was there a T-Mobile Power or a Power T-Mobile or a Cricket Wireless? That's how you also know.
Hey,
there
Cricket's
was a Bell's
good.
Bondman. That helps you.
Yeah.
And then I turned left, and I'm like, oh my God! It's like 2 rundown apartment complexes, and I'm like 0.3 miles. Oh my God! I'm about to call and say, hey, can we get out of this? And then I take the left turn, and it's a new build. They were telling me last night they took over a warehouse or something, and it's a sweet hotel that had a great steak place, right? Didn't have to, it was where the same valets that park at the hotel. Great Mexican restaurant they told me about was there. There's a couple of shops and an ice skating rink in the middle where you skate to holiday music. So it was a sweet hotel, great room, all of that. I guess they're trying to build up that area.
I had you in Bricktown where most of the action is, and I booked you the wrong dates.
I can come back for that. Did you tell them when you booked it?
No. Yeah. Well, I booked it for Christmas and the day after. I didn't notice it because we were sitting in Bo's office. I mean, Brown was next to me when I booked it. I don't know how it popped up on those dates.
Lance was like, man, I got a great rate for Dunaway in Oak City.
But then I sent it to Dunaway, and I guess you didn't initially notice it because it was a couple hours later before I got a call. Hey, look, you got the wrong dates here. And it was such a pain in the ass to get all that changed around. But then when it popped back up, that same room was 4 times the rate that I got you yesterday. Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess it was just a good rate because of Christmas. So then I had to start looking at other hotels, and we got about – it was still double what the rate would have been, but it was half the price of what it would have been if we would have kept you at the same hotel.
Yeah. It's the lively. It's really a great place, and it's a great room. That's all I'll say. And hey, if I need it, I know where the dispensaries are, and I know where the Bell's Bottom is, and where the pawn shops are. So you never know.
Hey, before we continue, Dunaway, tell them about Pan Store. We're going to be there this afternoon. You tell them about it, and I'll let everybody know why we're there.
Well, the Pan Store, first off, you just get great Alabama and Auburn gear, and you're looking for gifts this time of year. Absolutely. It's not too late to go by one of the Pants Store locations, including the one we're going to be at Hoover today. But if you're watching or listening to us in Huntsville or Tuscaloosa or Auburn or anywhere in Birmingham, they've got a Pants Store that is open today. Great sales going on. Great name brands from Gentile to Antigua, Cutter and Buck on all great Alabama and Auburn gear. But more than that, too, they have just great fashions for men and women for all ages. But, boy, you talk about something an 18 to 33-year-old loves, you will find it at the Pants Store. And they've got free alterations and free gift wrapping. And, boy, they're just great people who care about our community, Brown.
They do, and part of that is what they're doing this afternoon with us at the Hoover location, Folds of Honor. Great organization that helps the families of our United States veterans, those that have unfortunately lost their life in the call of duty, or those that have been disabled, Purple Heart winners, also first responders. They make sure those families have college scholarships. And 3 of those scholarship recipients are going to get to shop the Pants Store for free today. It's a shopping spree for them, so we're excited to join them for that. You can as well. If you want to come out and hang out at the Pants Store, say thank you to 3 heroic families, or hang with us and talk sports, or shop at the Pan Store, or just do all those things. Our friends at Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light will be there as well. 3 o'clock, Hoover location, just off the Hoover Met exit right there. In Stadium Trace in Hoover at the Pan Store at 3 o'clock.
Hey, and bowl games have already started. Kennesaw State, Western Michigan, the Myrtle Beach Bowl. And if you're looking for a place to knock off work early, it's on right now on ESPN. I don't know how we don't have it on one of the...
No, we do. It's right there. I'm going to change channels.
No score early in the first quarter right there. But, look, you can watch that game. You got Memphis, North Carolina State coming up. And then tonight, obviously, the first playoff game gets underway right there in Norman where Dunaway is between Alabama and Oklahoma. And if you're looking for a place to watch it, you can do it with our friends at Twin Peaks, home of the signature 29-degree draft. Twin Peaks girls running around in 3D everywhere. No one does happy hour like our friends at Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, they've got everything from the tequila cocktails, extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over the ice balls, local craft beers, handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Round out that adventurous drink menu, second to none. And don't forget, again, about the 29-degree drafts from our friends at Twin Peaks.
All right, we got the game on now. 14-0 already. Your namesake is up 14-0 on Kennesaw State.
Yeah, I sent you that screenshot, didn't I?
Yeah, Dunaway, you'll love this. Lance, who was it?
It was our man, Dwayne Peavy.
Dwayne Peavy, that's right. You know Peavy, Dunaway. Used to work for the SEC.
Oh, I do, absolutely.
Yeah. AD for DePaul now.
DePaul University sends Lance a text. Hey, congrats, man, on making the bowl game.
No, it's his whole family. It's like the Peavy family, and they all got Western Michigan gear on. Congrats, Coach. Congrats on the extension. And you know, the crazy thing is, Lance Taylor, not this Lance Taylor, the Lance Taylor of Western Michigan that played at Alabama, he is a rising star in the coaching ranks. So I really believe in the next 5 years, whether or not we're all still doing a show, I think he's going to be a big name. And I guess people that have got both of our numbers are going to have to be like, you know, successful Lance Taylor coach, and then put me as Birmingham Lance Taylor.
I sent Lance. I sent it back to him. I have literally got them both in my phone. I've got Lance Taylor just Lance Taylor, and then Lance Taylor dash WMU, so I don't make the same mistake and go to the wrong Lance Taylor. Because it happened to me, too. I can't remember who it was, but when he was an assistant at Notre Dame, one of his former Alabama teammates put him in he ended up in a group text. So he must have hit Lance Taylor, and it was a group text that Alabama player had with me, you, and Dunaway, and he sent it. I remember that. And I'm like, you got the wrong Lance Taylor right there, and I don't know why you did the group chat. All right, let's do 4 downs, Tyler.
First down.
We always start with first down. Excuse me, I got choked up.
Hey, and by the way, so there's not a ton of Lance Taylors out there. And I mean, it's kind of a unique name, but when I first got to Los Angeles and thought I was going to make it as a big actor, when you get your SAG card, your union card, you have to have your official name, and Lance Taylor was already taken because the guy that started as Blackula.
Oh, that's
Lance
right.
Taylor.
I remember that. Yeah. Did you use, Brandon? Did you use your
I never got my SAG card, so it didn't really matter.
Brown, I didn't get a job.
I never got that far, Brown, but I would have I don't know what I would have come up with. Okay, let's start here. Bigger number this weekend, Alabama rushing yards versus Oklahoma, or Alabama's total basketball points against Kennesaw on Sunday?
Wow. It's come to this, huh?
I think Alabama scores 103 in basketball against Kennesaw State. They've gone over 104 times already this year, and I believe Antoine Petway will want to get it up and down the floor with Kennesaw State too. So I expect that to be another 100-point outing for Alabama. You give me 100 yards Alabama rushing tonight. I like Bama's chances. I'm going to go Alabama basketball with more points than Alabama rushing yards tonight.
I think I will too.
Yeah, I think that's the safe play. I mean, the only thing, Jim, I don't think Nate by any stretch of the imagination would try to embarrass Pitt. I don't know what kind of team they've got, Kennesaw. You got to imagine Oates is not going to embarrass Antoine Petway. I mean, he's not going to score 120 on him. He'll call the dogs off before that, wouldn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he likes Pitt, so
coach for him.
But I don't know. When you're trying to score points and get your team right, sometimes you just take the butt whipping, and I think Petway would understand that. I mean, that South Florida game against Hodge the other night, that's a big, he and Oates are really close there, and that was 104-93, I think, was the final in that one.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I was just talking about, I don't think it'd get to 120. I mean, look, all it's got to do is get to 100. I don't think Alabama can run for 100 on Oklahoma.
Boy, if they do.
I mean, it would take one of those would have to be a home run ball. And, boy, you hadn't seen Alabama have a home run since A.K. Deere. Maybe was A.K. Deere the last home run Alabama's had? I mean, they just don't hit they don't have a chunk. Remember. I mean, their chunk runs just don't happen. So, yeah, I think I'd go Alabama basketball there.
Second down.
Bigger number tonight, Oklahoma sacks or Ryan Williams receptions?
Again, Jim, if it ain't Ryan Williams receptions, you got some problems.
His over-under is 3.5 on receptions right now in Vegas. And Alabama's giving up about 3 or 4 sacks a game right now.
In this breezy, as they call it here, I don't know what we call 20 to 30 at home, but here they call 20 to 30 breezy. That impacts throwing the football too. It impacts your accuracy of throwing the ball. So it'll be interesting to see. Feel like temperature at kick is going to be 37 degrees. So it's 50, but the feel like because of the wind is going to feel like 37. So it's a cold ball, cold hand, windy night for Ty Simpson throwing the ball. But I'm going to take 5 catches for Ryan Williams, and I'll just go 3 sacks for Ty Simpson. So I'll take Ryan Williams.
I mean, I am looking over your right shoulder. I know I don't have to tell you this. I'm just pointing it out for those watching the show. Those flags are
they're popping.
They're popping. That wind's humming.
Those 3 right there in the middle, including the cool Oklahoma State flag, the beautiful United States of America flag, and the interlocking OU. That's on top of a scoreboard, and that's a long way away. That's a big scoreboard, and those are big flags, and they're straight out.
Yeah, that's a lot of wind right there. I think based on that, I'm going to go Oklahoma Sacks.
I'm going to go Oklahoma Sacks
I hate
too.
to do it. I'll go Oklahoma Sacks on that one.
Third down.
Bigger number tonight, John Mateer rushing yards or total points in this game? By the way, Mateer's rushing yards, 35.5. Total points sitting at 40.5 right now.
I was thinking the way this one gets away from Alabama, if Bama can't keep it close, is the fact that they did such a good job of shutting down Mateer running the ball. He had the one 20-yard touchdown run. Other than that, they shut him down running the ball, and they really shut down Oklahoma running the ball in its entirety. Because I think he was their leading rusher. Maybe their running back had 34, but they didn't have a great running game against Alabama in Tuscaloosa. So hats off to Kane Womack's defense and the way they shut them down. I got a feeling they run the ball a little bit better tonight. What's the question? I'm going to take Mateer in the over there.
It's Mateer rushing yards or total points of the game.
I think.
Yeah.
So
Mateer's rushing for me.
Yeah. So what did Fuhrman tell us about the total? That all the public money's on the under. That's the big play here.
Yeah, but if you play the under, more things have to go right than wrong.
I mean,
or wrong than right.
Is there I know. I mean, like everybody in the world thinks it's going to be a 13-10 type game. I mean, could this game surprise us? I mean, could we get like a 28-24 game? I mean, it seems highly, highly unlikely, but is there a path to that?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, can you see it happening there, Jim? 28-24, something like that?
Turnovers?
Yeah, I mean, you can see 31-13. You know what I mean? If either side could break this one open, as you said, with the turnovers. The defenses are that good. But to me, we can talk about it anytime you want. For Alabama to win tonight, I think it starts with Kane Womack's defense, how small of a number they can put up. Can they put up a 0? I mean, Oklahoma's offense has struggled. Can Kane Womack's team put up a 0 tonight? You know how you win the game? The other team doesn't score. That's where I would start tonight. 0 for Oklahoma.
Yeah, hard to lose that way. There's no doubt. By the way, Blake with the line of the day so far in the chat room. With that win behind Dunaway, Connor Talty's kicks could end up in Missouri. So it's plenty of wins. There's no doubt.
I think the way the wind's blowing, it would end up in Arkansas. I think.
Fourth down.
Jake Gyllenhaal, 45 years old. Ultimately, better career, Jake Gyllenhaal or Jake Paul, who will fight Anthony Joshua tonight on Netflix.
Boy, the size difference between those two. I saw some of the, the manufactured fight at the weigh-in that we always have.
Well, you got a heavyweight limit at 245, and Anthony Joshua, 243.5, I think, barely got under it. But you look at the reach, you look at the height.
The height is what was crazy. They were standing, I would say face-to-face, except it was Paul facing Joshua's chest, basically.
I mean, this is going to be a disaster for Jake Paul, unless it's fixed. Unless it's fixed.
That's what I was going to say, Lance, unless it's fixed. But the sparring partner for Jake Paul came back and said, people, they don't understand that this guy really is a good fighter. He really is a good fighter.
Yeah, he is. I'll give you that, but this is next level.
If Joshua, his quote was, "I will kill you. That's my job. I will kill you." And they asked, you don't really mean that. And he goes, when we step in the ring, we signed a form, we have a license to kill in that ring. And that's what I will try to do.
Okay. Well, if that happens, I'm going to go to Jake Gyllenhaal. I think at that point, Jake Gyllenhaal.
I will have this on that. Unfortunately, this fight should be in Vegas, where it could, main card could go off at like 10 o'clock, and we could watch the game and then watch the fight. But it's in Miami, so I'll have it on a side TV because Joshua's minus 1,200. It should be a disaster for Jake Paul, but I do think he's a good fighter.
Where is this airing? Is this pay-per-view?
No, it's on Netflix.
It's Netflix. Okay.
I mean, that'll go off without a hitch, right?
Yeah. When is that screwed up?
Yeah. I am going to say ultimately Jake Gyllenhaal still.
Gyllenhaal's the best working actor today that does not have an Oscar.
Wow.
Oh, how about that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
His best role, Love and Drugs.
Nightcrawler was really good.
Nightcrawler was good. I mean, hey, people aren't going to love to hear this, but Brokeback Mountain, he was really good in that.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Night Stalker, he's pretty good in that.
Okay.
You mean Nightcrawler?
Nightcrawler.
Okay.
I'll give you that. Yep.
Yeah, where he would go to the accident scenes and get the footage before anybody else.
Yeah.
They play that way too well.
It made you wonder, huh?
Yeah.
That is 4 downs. A reminder, our friends from Central State Bank, they remind you if you're looking for a bank that is playing on your team, Central State Bank, your hometown bank, serving Shelby and Tallapoosa County and counties like that throughout central Alabama. That is Central State Bank. Whether you're chasing dreams or building your business, you've got the tools, teams, and personal touch to help you at Central State Bank. More than 100 years of trusted service, large enough to serve you, small enough to know you, rooted in community, driven by relationships. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, if you're at that crossroads right now and you're like, what am I going to do with my life professionally? How about a crane operator? Our friends at Crane U, they will get you the crane training you need today. If you're looking for that new career or need further training to advance your current one, our friends at Crane U, they offer the comprehensive, state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, or forklift training. If you want to use your own equipment, the team at Crane U will come to you on-site, on-location training, offered nationwide. Make your job easier, your job site safer. Crane U also offers certification, safety inspections to ensure the safest environment possible. Class is available monthly, so call or visit our friends at Crane U. Call 855-CRANE-U. When you call Francis or Nicole or Scott or anybody that's answering over there, make sure you tell them the next round sent you 10% off all these great services. You can also go online, craneu.com.
All right, Dunaway, before you drop for another half hour while we talk to Chris Doering, you mentioned this a moment ago. We just played the cut. I mean, Alabama's defense, Kane Womack, and we heard what he said, chip on the shoulder because everybody focuses on this Oklahoma defense. This Alabama defense is built to keep that Oklahoma offense shut down. They did it in the first game. It was just special teams and turnovers that put them in a bad spot.
Absolutely. They held them in check. It was just short field, short drives. Tim Keenan is playing his best football of his career. And I'll tell you guys about what you don't see after a game is Chris Smith, 23.
Yeah.
He may be, and I mean this, I don't know how he is off the football field, but on the football field, he may be the meanest person I've seen wear an Alabama uniform in a long, long time. Like after every game, it's like it's hard for him to turn it off as he's walking off the field. And even, Eastern Illinois, it doesn't matter who they're playing. He has a beef with somebody on that other team after every game. I love me some 23. I think he's got ill will in his heart on the football field against the other team. They've turned into a really good defensive front, and they'll need to be huge tonight because they've got injuries, Oklahoma does, on that offensive line. Their center is out, and they're having to move a couple of people around. And that's another path to victory for Alabama is their defensive line having their way with their offensive line tonight to put them in some hurt.
All right, don't cross James Smith after a game. That's what we just learned from Dunaway there. Don't cross James Smith.
2-3 can get after it.
2-3 can get after it. All right, we'll see you at 11, Jim. Go warm up and charge that phone.
Really quick, I want to show you something.
Okay.
First off, the fine folks here at Oklahoma Energy Partners, they're all in on the oil.
Oh, wow.
Derek, right?
Yeah.
Here at their tailgate.
Little oil rig.
But they've also got a heater right here. Would they be upset if I turned that thing on and they showed up at their tailgate and they're out of gas?
Well, they won't know it's here.
Is the propane already on it?
It's down there, yeah.
Yeah, I'd fire it up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that to them, even though they are an energy company.
They're an energy company. They ought to have their own propane.
Yeah, they've got to have standby. That's going to be a long tailgate. I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, I'd go and fire that puppy up. How are they going to know? Yeah. We're gonna come back and Dunaway's gonna look like Marv from Home Alone. He's gonna have his hat. It's gonna be burned out on the top, and his head's gonna be scorched. All right, Dunaway will join us after stealing some energy from Oklahoma Energy Partners. Not Alabama Power, though. We don't steal from them. We will talk with Chris Doering. He's in Oxford, Mississippi. That is next.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Oh, watch out, lady. What are you doing? Oh, wait. Come on, man. Shawty just destroyed my whip.
Say, little man, you need to call Alexander Sonara, man.
What the hell? Yeah, Alexander Sonara trial attorney. I heard they get you paid quick, fast, and in a hurry. With 500 attorneys. And staff holding it down for clients they've represented in 50 states. 659-777-7777. Or Sonara.com. Alexander Sonara trial attorney suing the insurance company, not the individual. Call me, Alabama.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
There's only one Champy's world-famous fried chicken. Poor boy's tenders, full fried chicken plates, and a little bit of the Mississippi Delta with chicken on a stick and hot tamales. On your way to or from the big game on Highway 119 in Alabaster, stop by Champy's Chicken.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Okay, we continue on the next round. Let's head to Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. The SEC Network's Chris Doering is there. Practice starts as we are live here in about 10-12 minutes. So Doering has got to be done when practice starts or he'll get fined by the SEC. What is up, Doering? How are you, buddy?
Hey, good morning, boys. Good to be back with you guys, man. What an exciting feeling it is here. I know it is where you guys are and certainly here in Oxford as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be an unknown feeling in Oxford, though. I mean, this is unprecedented. Pete Golding is going to make a coaching debut in the college football playoffs. I mean, I know the playoffs are quite young, but it is hard to find anything that remotely resembles this in sports, really, other than the old Bill Frieder, Steve Fisher situation in the Michigan basketball years back in 1989.
Yeah, what a crazy situation, man. I'm hanging out with our guy Kyle Campbell here from Oxford, from Ole Miss, and he had to get over last night for the coaches show as Pete Golding makes his debut. Didn't even know where he was going or how to navigate that. I mean, you'd think that coaches get a chance to ramp up as a first-time head coach and all the media demands, but you get thrown right into the deep end here, and he certainly killed it last night, and I think everything he's done along the way, including, I don't know if you guys know or not, but he's not going to lead the team out tomorrow in the Walk of Champions. He's letting the focus be on the team, which is something that he's kind of talked about a lot with everything that's gone on over the last month, not being about the team. He wants everything tomorrow to be about them, and I think it's just one of the few subtle changes that he's making as he's taken over.
You know, there was a poll, Doering, on, which coach has the most pressure in this college football playoff, and the easy answer is Kalen DeBoer, unless Pete Golding wants to lose this game, because this isn't an interim tag, and I don't see really a path to victory for Tulane. I mean, this Ole Miss offense just plowed through them in that earlier meeting. But if he was to lose this game, can you imagine what the outcry would be amongst Ole Miss fans finally getting to a college football playoff and losing to a Group 5 on campus as a 17.5-point favorite?
Yeah, I don't know that the anger would be directed at Pete Golding as much as maybe some additional anger at Lane Kiffin for what he would do to have disrupted a historic run that this team has been on. And it's ironic, too, guys, because last year was supposed to be the team. Everybody was all in with Jackson Dart and all the returning experience they had. And I don't think anybody really thought a lot of this team early in the year. In fact, everybody was excited about Austin Simmons, and it turns out that it's Trinidad Chambliss that becomes the story of this Ole Miss season. So I have a hard time believing, Lance. I went back and watched the tape, man. There's a real discrepancy in talent when you look at what Ole Miss has versus what Tulane has, particularly on the lines of scrimmage. I mentioned Trinidad Chambliss. He's such an impact in the run game. The teams have to decide, how we're going to play this. They bring an additional safety down. You saw Tulane try to play man coverage against Ole Miss. It just didn't work very well with all the different talented receivers and tight ends that Ole Miss has. I think it's a mismatch. So I don't see how they can hold up in this one.
Chris Doering is with us, SEC Network, ESPN. He is at Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. We're in about 10 minutes. The Rebs are going to practice their final practice before Saturday's game against Tulane. Let's talk about the early game Saturday over in College Station. Look, Texas A&M, is it fair to doubt them based on that SEC schedule they played? And then when you finally get a quality opponent, albeit on the road, it wasn't like a blowout, but, I mean, Texas won that game. They controlled that game against Texas A&M. I mean, there's still some doubt even through 12 games around this A&M team for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is fair to doubt them, but be careful when you do doubt them, because the Texas A&M Aggie fans are going to come for you on social media like they did for me, because all year long I've talked about, I think I like this team. I think they're good, but I don't know. And it speaks to the craziness of the SEC schedule with, how inequitable I think it is from team to team. So, I have the same questions that I've had since the opener. They give up over 200 yards against UTSA on the ground. They give up 3 more games of 200-plus rushing yards, and they're going up against a Miami team that, really focused on winning at the line of scrimmage, that's talented around their quarterback Carson Beck and running the football. So I think these two teams are very similar, and I think both coaches are going to really embrace a physical war at the line of scrimmage that's ultimately going to decide the game.
At their best, and look, Carson Beck, 40th career start he'll make tomorrow. He's 13-3 against ranked teams. But Marcel Reed, obviously he can do other things that Carson Beck can't do. At their absolute best, who does have the better option at quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the absolute best, it is Marcel Reed. I go back to that LSU game last year, how he changed the game down around the red zone with his ability to run the read option, what they do in quarterback read stuff in general, how that creates an advantage for them in the number count. But I think both of these quarterbacks have to be careful of not trying to do too much. Both are really surrounded with a ton of talent at the skill players. And I think, you go back and look when Carson Beck has been at his worst, man, turnovers come in bunches. And I think, you saw that first half against South Carolina where Marcel Reed was about at his absolute worst. So I think at the end of the day, these quarterbacks have to play really, really well. They have to distribute the football. But the biggest thing I think will decide what I expect to be a close game is which quarterback can prevent the big turnover.
So Reuben Owens has been good, over close to 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. But Le'Veon Moss, first 6 games, had 6 touchdowns and was on pace for a really, really good season. He seems to be back. How much Le'Veon Moss will we see tomorrow?
That question is a great one. And Coach Elko had Le'Veon Moss listed on the last availability report as questionable still at this point. From people that I've talked to that have been around say that he looks good in practice. Not sure about what the load management may be, but the good thing for Texas A&M, as you mentioned, is that Reuben Owens did step up. E.J. Smith has played well additionally in the backfield there for the Aggies. So Le'Veon Moss is kind of the heart and soul. That team changed last year when he got hurt towards the end of the year, and I think the offense changed a little bit when he got hurt this year against Florida. But I do expect him to be out there, and I think you'll see a solid amount of carries for him tomorrow.
All right, the third game tomorrow, or this weekend, I should say, that involves SEC teams is tonight's game, Alabama and Oklahoma. Dunaway is there. So we've talked a lot about this game with him today when he's been on with us from just outside the stadium there in Norman. I will ask you, and I don't guess as a Florida player, I don't know that this was ever an issue for you guys because of the nature of the postseason back then. When I say back then, it makes you sound really old, but I'm your age, so it makes me that old. But kind of like Ohio State did with a reset last year when the playoffs happened, could you see that for Alabama? It has not been a pretty finish for the Crimson Tide, especially on offense. Could you see maybe just a little bit of a reset for the Crimson Tide?
I think you could see that for a number of different teams. I mean, it really is about getting hot at the right time. We're watching Texas A&M's volleyball team get hot at the right time all the way to a run in the national championship game against Kentucky. So I think the same could be true for Alabama. If they are going to get hot at the right time, though, they're going to have to do something they haven't done all season consistently, and that's run the football. I mean, I think I feel bad for Ty Simpson because you've seen a lot of criticism of him, and his production's certainly gone down over the last month of the season, but it's a contribution from a lot of different people, the inability to run the football. I think the running backs have let them down, not only in running the ball, but in pass protection. You're talking about guys that don't even look like they want to come up and take on, the opposing blitzers. So they've got to be better. Ty Simpson has to be better about not taking drops that are too deep and putting the tackles in bad spots either. But this is a game that I think is kind of a bad matchup for Alabama, given how one-dimensional they've been and the inability to really protect Ty Simpson over the last month of the season.
Doering with a loss tonight, I think Alabama fans, their heads are going to explode when it comes to Kalen DeBoer, but he's still 7-2 against ranked teams. He still is a coach that 2 years ago coached in a national championship matchup against Michigan. I would assume that you agree Kalen DeBoer is, matchup as far as coach to coach, you've got the advantage with Kalen DeBoer over Brent Venables.
For sure. I mean, I think Kalen DeBoer is one of the best coaches in all of college football. And the fact that, you hear some Alabama fans talking about wanting to move on from him is absolutely ridiculous. I love the fact that he, not only took on the challenge of wanting to come and fill the shoes of the greatest to ever do it, but, still seems committed to going forward in that same manner. Now, with that being said, I give Brent Venables a lot of credit because I think he's pushed the right buttons in the offense in the offseason for going out and getting Ben Arbuckle as the offensive coordinator and John Mateer as the quarterback, to really the biggest thing, inserting himself back into the defensive play calling. He's been fantastic in what they've been able to game plan and dial up in game. So I think that's the thing that I'm most interested in is how can Brent Venables try to create some advantageous blitz situations that put their best rushers on some of those running backs.
All right, before you go, and Ole Miss is about to start practice, and Doering's going to catch that, I want to circle back to something you said about Pete Golding not leading the team through the Walk of Champions. So those that don't know, they walk through the Grove to get to the stadium like a lot of teams do. And Lane Kiffin, at least based on the video I've seen, normally is out front of that. It feels like that Golding has hit every right button for Ole Miss fans. Like, we watch a lot of his press conference. He's fun to listen to. The stuff he has said, I bet Ole Miss fans are eating this stuff up with Pete Golding right now.
I was at his coach's show last night, man, and you should have seen the adoration that the fans had for him. When he got introduced, they're chanting, Pete, Pete, Pete. Really has stepped up and I think provided some stability during this last couple-week period of time with so much question kind of hanging in the flux there. But I do think you're right. I think he's hit everything that has kind of rejuvenated this fan base. And this kind of being the culmination of all that. And I think he really has made a point over and over again not to make it about him. And the storylines exist with him being a first-time head coach and taking over in a weird way. But this is about a team that has done something that no team has done before in the history of this program. 11 regular season wins. They get to host a college football playoff game for the first time ever. I mean, it really is remarkable. And I think he's done a good job of putting himself in the background and letting the team have the focus.
All right, he is Chris Doering. Enjoy the game there in Oxford and all the games this weekend. Doering, have a great Christmas. Always fun talking with you, buddy.
Likewise, man. Love you guys. Take care.
All right, brother. Take care. Chris Doering with us on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys Hotline. We're about to hear what Pete Golding said about building that culture there in Oxford, Mississippi. He's a fascinating guy to listen to.
Doering went A&M volleyball on us.
I know. I did. So we're all watching that. I'm like, I gotta stop you there, Chris. I did not know Texas A&M volleyball was on our. Is Forrester aware of this? Scott, were you aware? Is A&M like on some historic run?
Locked in, man. They beat Nebraska the other day. It was awesome.
Okay.
They had a 37-35 fourth set.
Now, I'm aware
of 37-35 fourth set?
Lance had the under, unfortunately.
It was actually pretty awesome.
Yeah. I'm familiar with Nebraska because I know they played a game where they filled up Nebraska's football stadium. So that's a really
big deal.
Yeah, it's a really big program there. So they've just gotten like hot at the right time, and they're making this big run.
They're on a heater, and but Kentucky's really good. That's the national championship matchup there.
Oh, it just means more SEC going head to head. Yeah, how about that?
How can we lose?
Yeah, well, perhaps you can watch that at Odie's. Will they have that on at Odie's?
I don't. It is interesting last night because I looked up and I was like, "Is A&M basketball on?" And it was A&M volleyball at a location that I was at last night. A little meeting and before the Rams game. Odie's Tavern is a great place to watch all of your college football. Hey, look, they're open right now for business. You can get in there early, enjoy lunch. Not much of a bowl game. The Myrtle Beach Bowl, Western Michigan leads 27-0. But, hey.
That's the first quarter lead, 27-0.
Yeah, you can still get an adjustment at halftime, play this game, and hang out at Odie's all day, drink those ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. You've got more action coming up with Memphis and NC State. And, of course, tonight, great place to watch Alabama-Oklahoma is Odie's Tavern. Either location, Edgewood, the original location at Crestline. After the game tonight, they will have live music at both locations. Of course, great food all the time. Get in and see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution, it's Odie's Tavern.
Also, our friends at Culver's, great place to go after any game, win or lose, is right there at Culver's. A couple of great Birmingham locations. From the juicy butter burgers to the creamy, fresh, frozen custard, the crispy crinkle-cut fries, the gooey golden cheese curds, something for everyone in your crew to enjoy, win or lose. Culver's is the perfect place to celebrate the sweet memories you'll make all season long. So stop by Culver's in Birmingham. You can find them at Stadium Trace or Tattersall Park and make this game day a delicious one. Culver's, welcome to delicious. Tyler, give me, if you will, cut number, where is Pistol Pete on here? Oh, Pete Golding. Cut number 16, Tyler, if you will. Cut number 16. I mentioned this to Doering. He said he's at the coach's show last night. They're chanting Pete's name. Guy hadn't even coached the game yet. Chanting Pete's name. Like, he's got a chance to be one of the most beloved people in Mississippi, taking over for Lane Kiffin the way Kiffin bolted. He's also got a chance to be a GOAT.
I'm not going to say it's premeditated, but it's almost like, and if you're repping Pete Golding, and I don't know who his...
I think it's Sexton, but I'm not certain of that.
But it's almost like everything Lane Kiffin has done it's been all about Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, you do the opposite.
Yeah, you make it all about the team, and that's what he's done from press conferences to not doing the Walk of Champions. I mean, he is doing everything that Lane Kiffin, the opposite way Kiffin would do it. And I do think that now that Ole Miss fans absolutely hate Kiffin, they're embracing this.
But ultimately, the one thing you got to do like Kiffin is win. I mean,
Kiffin,
win. Say all that about Kiffin. He was winning games. He's got him in this position in the playoffs.
This will be another bloodbath tomorrow.
I think you're probably right. I hate that for our guy, John Summerall. But moving forward, this is Pete Golding, the new Ole Miss coach, the DNA of this program. What's your program's culture? Here's Pete trying to hit all the right buttons again in Oxford.
At the end of the day, they keep score, and if you keep score, the object's to win the game, right? And no difference from players that we're trying to recruit. We're trying to recruit players to help win games, right? You're hiring coaches to try to help win games, right? And I know that's what we're judged based on, and they've done it at a really high level here consistently over the last couple of years. So I think competition's number one. But I think that comes there's got to be some interior motivation. All the exterior factors, in my opinion, of what college football used to use was the NFL. And so you had elite players that wanted to get to NFL because they wanted that payday. Well, they've already got it now, right? So they've got nice cars. They're in nice condos. Shit, some of them live in the country club by me, right? They've already got what you used to have to work hard to, right? They have. And so at the end of the day, if there's not that interior motivation to want to compete and want to be the best player at my position and want to be the best team in the country, to want to leave a legacy, right, for this team that's never been done here before, right, then you're going to fall short. And I think that's what gets lost in the recruiting process when you just go back to the tape and you're watching the tape. Like, does the guy love football or does he love what football could do for them?
You know what I hope for this guy? what I hope for Pete Golding. First of all, I'd like to see him do well there. I like Pete Golding. I think
get on a heater.
Yeah, I'd like.
I mean,
Pete
how about if they, obviously they're going to win tomorrow, but then they beat Georgia, something Lane Kiffin
never could do. Oh man, they'll build it. They'll already lay the base of the statue for this guy if they beat Georgia. But I hope if he has success, we don't get a polished Pete Golding. I hope he's that same guy.
Oh, yeah.
I hope he doesn't. Exactly. Nobody gets to him. It's like, now, Pete, you've had success. You can't.
But, I mean, the hand motions, I mean, it is all Saban Kiffin.
It is. But to hear him, I mean, he says the quiet parts out loud sometimes, too. Like, now these guys are getting paid. Some of them live at the country club next to me. You're like, whoa, Pete. I know they're getting paid, Pete, but let's dial that back a little bit.
Well, I mean, you had a quarterback in Jackson Dart that had an Aston Martin on campus a couple of years ago.
I know. Yeah, I like untamed Pete Golding. I don't want us to ever tame Pete. Let's let Pete be Pete.
It seems like Pete and Lane, I don't know what the relationship was like during the season. I don't know what it's been like the last couple of years, but it seems like there has been a disconnect between the two.
Well, again, I'm pretty sure, Pete probably didn't like the way Lane left. There have been, I saw this number because, I don't know if you saw this, but Ole Miss is going to hire Frank Wilson, who's the very well-respected longtime assistant at LSU, but the interim head coach at LSU. And it's always been said of him, nobody recruits Louisiana better than him. He's got the keys to Louisiana.
And
well,
that's
Ole Miss is hiring him,
Yeah, it's interesting that, I mean, I would think that he would stay. He loves LSU. Is that one of those situations where Kiffin just doesn't want any fingerprints on the program that were there before?
But that's what's so interesting is now he's at Oxford. Like Golding's like, heck yeah, I'll take those recruiting connections to Louisiana. Are you kidding me? There have been, but I saw in addition to Frank Wilson, Lance, there have been 17 coaches in this trade. 17 different coaches are either going from LSU to Ole Miss or Ole Miss to LSU.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, what's going to be fascinating after the fact, how many of these Ole Miss players truly stay.
Yeah.
That'll show you a lot about, and look, and I'm not saying if there's a mass exodus that reflects negatively on Pete Golding, but if all these guys end up staying, that'll show you what they think not only about Ole Miss, but Pete Golding.
Yeah.
And a little bit of Lane Kiffin, too.
Yeah, a lot of that. So a fascinating start for Pete Golding, a guy that is going to coach his first game ever as a head coach in the college football playoffs. I don't know if Lance's Luck had a play on the Bronx of Western Michigan. I hope they did, though.
Boy, I almost played it. It was just so early.
Were you going to play Western Michigan?
Yeah, I was going to play Western Michigan minus the 3.5.
This is not even an 11 o'clock game that you stay away from. This is a 10 o'clock game you stay away from.
We do have a play. We have a total in the next game between Memphis and NC State, and we've got the side tonight, Alabama, Oklahoma. Up and available, free play every single day at lanceslike.com, where we have been red hot. Last night we cooled off a little bit. Hopefully a lot of you guys, though, I know where I shopped it. I played it myself, and I don't know why I didn't play Moneyline, but I played Seattle at -1, so it did tick back to -1. So hopefully a lot of you guys either played Moneyline or got it -1 and didn't lose -1.5. We've got to take the loss there, but it has been an incredible season. It will continue. Not only do we have bowl action, we've got college football playoff with 4 of those games this weekend, 1 tonight, 3 tomorrow. We also have 2 big NFL matchups. We're already on those. All of this will be up and available for you. Jump on board. We'll have a specialty show tonight. I'll send some stuff out on that as well. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, cooling. Any of these issues arise in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
All right, Texas A&M Miami playing the early game on Saturday, 11 o'clock kick for that on ESPN ABC from College Station. Mike Elko has turned this into a contending program very, very quickly. You are a big fan of Mike Elko. What he did at Duke, 9 wins at Duke, didn't win a conference championship there, has come to Texas A&M. Twice at A&M. Here's the only thing I'll say about Elko. Twice already at A&M, and I guess this is a good and a bad, okay? He has gone into November controlling his own destiny for the SEC championship game, but both times he hasn't gotten there.
But, last year was very understandable. There wasn't really an expectation with Elko in year 1. This year it felt a little different. But, look, he lost 1 game, and it was to his rival, and it was on the road. They were 11-1, and they're still in a great situation, going to a college football playoff. Not only that, hosting one of these games, right there on site, Kyle Field. I mean, if you're an A&M fan, you have got to be over-the-top excited. You bring in a defensive guy, and, look, the defense is good. it's not great. Now, as far as getting after the quarterback, great there, but they're 41st in scoring defense. But you got to be excited. Like, this offense is so good right now. And what he's been able to do, going out and getting Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion in the portal, the offense is averaging over 36 points per game.
Do you think this has been a success? He's about to be asked. He's going to answer the question. Has this been a successful season, or is it championship or bust? That's the question we're about to hear for Mike Elko.
Well, I hope Elko says, and then he can, after the fact, come back and damage control it. I would hope that he says, look, I got hired for a reason. It was to bring championships to this program that is championship starved. So anything less than us winning 4 games, the next 4 games, it's a disappointment.
Okay, so you would say this has not been a success for A&M yet. You would say that.
I wouldn't personally say that.
Yeah, no, I coach. You would say
it has been a very successful season. I mean, look, they were in the top 5 a good majority of the season. Again, you're hosting a playoff game. Even if they lose as a favorite to Miami tomorrow, this has been an A season to me for Texas A&M. But if I'm Mike Elko, I answer it like, it's championship or bust. And then if we lose to Miami tomorrow, I go out, hey, look, I know I said this, but I am proud of these guys. I think the steps we took from year 1 in this program to where we are right now, it's going to do nothing but go up.
Okay, I have no idea how Elko was going to answer this. I don't. Nor did you. That's why I asked you this. I would say this has been a successful season for Texas A&M.
Very successful, but I would not say that if I'm Elko yet.
All right, well, here's what the Texas A&M coach said to that question.
You kind of deem as like a successful season? Are you kind of championship or bust, or do you think for this season in particular, do you think just making it is a success, or how would you kind of value that?
I'm trying to be nice. Yeah, I don't know that you define it that way. I think we're in year 2. We're trying to establish a championship type of program. We haven't won a championship around here since 1939, so that's a lot of busts if that's the only marker. So I think we're obviously in this thing to compete for a national championship for sure. We believe we can. We believe we're one of the teams that's capable of going out there and winning it, but I don't know that you define seasons like that. Like, I don't know that I've ever checked off a box on a season like success, failure.
I mean, I don't know. That was kind of a middle ground answer. I was expecting a little
kind of political.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, I consider it a successful season for Texas A&M. I understand a coach can't get behind a podium and say, "Listen, guys, what do y'all expect around here, man? We are in the college football playoffs. First time we've ever been this far."
I guess you paint yourself in a corner if you're like, hey, I got hired to win championships.
Yeah.
He did, though.
He did. But to his point, he did point out very quickly he hadn't won a championship here since 1939. And I've got to say, here we are in the playoffs. That was kind of a indirect way of saying, yes, it's been successful. Are you kidding me?
Look, this year has been an A+ for Texas A&M. Getting to a college football playoff, I'm still shocked with where they were. They didn't get to an SEC championship game, but they still were 11-1.
Yeah, Nicholas says in the chat, 11-1 is crazy to say not successful. I would agree.
Yeah. Again, it's an A+. Hey, any idea what 44 Farms is?
44 Farms, is that sponsoring this game we're watching?
No. Look behind Elko.
Oh, 44 Farms.
Yeah, since 1909.
Well, they've been doing it a long time.
Yeah, they were 30 years old when A&M hoisted the trophy.
Before you tell us about Dr. B, you tell me what you think 44 Farms is, and I'll see if you get it right.
Okay. I think 44 Farms is a co-op of different farmers.
Okay.
And, some are corn farmers and some are dairy farmers, and they've got this big co-op.
Well, there's 44 of them.
Yeah, and there's 44 different ones.
Okay.
So 44 Farms is located in Cameron, Texas, and is one of the premier registered Angus operations in America.
They send you steak.
And producer of ethically raised, all-natural black Angus beef.
And it's ethically raised, because I know when I grill a steak at my house, I worry about the ethics.
Yeah, and I would tell you the most ethical thing they do is put that kill shot right between the eyes of the cow.
I don't want you to necessarily go out of your way to slaughter the cow, but I never eat a steak, and I'm like,
So is this a new Omaha
Steaks?
Jeeves, you wouldn't know this, but back in the 80s, like if you got a package from Omaha Steaks, you're like, damn, somebody rich sent me a package in the mail.
Oh, I get Omaha Steaks ads all the time, and I'd look at them and I think, those look good.
Oh, they do. For that, I went to 44 Farms.
But
website.
Omaha Steaks is more in the stakeout kind of category, isn't it?
Who?
Like, you remember Stakeout? They deliver the steaks.
But you said Omaha's like Steakhouse?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I don't think so at all. Omaha steaks are good. You're saying Omaha
Priced
steaks?
a lot more than steaks.
Yeah.
See, I thought this was like next level. I thought Omaha steaks kind of came back to reality.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a New York butcher shop guy.
Yeah, me too.
I know we all are.
Yeah.
I've never really.
Why would you not go to, especially in our area?
Right.
Like, if you live somewhere in the wilderness in Montana, I can understand you getting steaks delivered, but why not go to the New York butcher shop?
44 Farms, though, must be killing it because they are literally on the sign behind.
Well, let me ask you
that takes you a lot of money to get there.
Are they feeding Elko?
If so, they're like, boys, we don't know where to put the money. Mike Elko's ordering steaks from us.
I mean, what size is that hoodie? Is it a triple?
It's a
triple.
I think I might be 4.
4?
Dude, have you seen him on the sidelines?
He's pregnant.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think Elko's been putting away some Salisbury steaks. 44 Farms doesn't do those.
Never been a Salisbury steak guy.
No, I'm not a huge fan.
Like, whatever that load on the top, man, it's just got to go.
I like
the hungry man with the slime on top.
I like a hamburger steak. I'm not a big country fried steak guy myself.
Yeah. No.
All right, Dr. B bringing you part of the show.
Dr. B, best in the business. Look, if you're starting to thin out, don't worry. Dr. Beckenstein is there for you. You need to be preemptive on this. Get in front of it. Not only can you maintain what you've got, you can grow some back. T3hair.net, 205-319-0316. Stop wasting money and critical time while you're losing hair on treatments that aren't working for you. Go see Dr. B and find out what will work for you. T3's got that test. It's easy, painless, affordable, takes seconds to perform. It's going to show which medicines and compounds will specifically work for your hair loss. Men and women ordering products online don't even know if they work. Stop wasting time and money on that. 205-319-0316. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, T3hair.net.
Tyler, I met a friend at Walk-Ons for lunch the other day. You know what I got?
Oh, what'd you get?
The ribeye sliders. That's what I looked at. I was like, that's what Tyler says to get is the ribeye sliders.
I'm thinking about getting some today.
They were fantastic. Great call by you on the ribeye sliders. Walk-On's a great place to go watch the game tonight. They've got locations throughout Birmingham, Tattersall Park, off Highway 280, also Stadium Trace in Hoover. We're going to be hanging out in that area later on today with the Pants Store. You can go do a daily double at the Walk-Ons and the Pants Store. And then right there in Trussville as well, Walk-On Sports Bistro. Tyler recommends those ribeye sliders. We also talk about the great salads they have. Believe it or not, my buddy I was with, my buddy David, he got the turkey burger. He let me try a bite of that. Terrific, that turkey burger. Great burgers, great drinks, great food there at Walk-Ons. Walk-On Sports Bistro, Stadium Trace, Tattersall Park, and in Trussville. Great place to watch the game. We head back to Norman to check in with Dunaway next.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorney, we fight back. We have the resource, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777. Or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We start another hour of the next round, our final live hour of the week. We are with you Monday, by the way, in case you're wondering about our holiday schedule. We'll be live Monday so we can talk about all the first round games. And then we're going to take the remainder of the week to spend time with our families and friends for Christmas and the holidays. I hope you guys do as well, and be careful while you're traveling. So that is our upcoming schedule. Live with you Monday, a normal live show. We will have reaction for tonight's game. Jim Dunaway rejoins us from Norman, Oklahoma, where he'll be getting reaction to tonight's game. You'll get all of that on our social media at Next Round Live, at Next Round Live. Mick is live again. Do you know?
Mick will be live
tonight.
Yeah, they did a live show. Him and Jake did one yesterday.
Could you guys come show those sweatshirts to the people back in Alabama?
Oh, we got
Mick will have post game right after Alabama, Oklahoma.
Right, sometime even before it's over. Yeah. Yep. So Jim's bringing in some live sweatshirts.
Oklahoma fans, hard to kill. Explain that to us. What's hard to kill? Oklahoma, obviously. Where did that saying come from?
Venables, I believe.
Brent Venables?
Yeah.
Okay. Hard to kill. You got a prediction on the game?
Most of what I'm seeing is going to be close like last time.
Yeah.
Basically, kind of the same score, right around the same.
Is that a Ghost Energy? Oh, Ghost Energy drink. All right. 21-28. Oh, you. Okay. You? Is it always this windy here? Yeah.
They look miserable.
Yeah. Hard to kill.
Yep.
They're everywhere, man. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Boy, how many people have that saying now? Hard to kill.
Hard to kill. Yeah.
Steven Seagal created this back in the 80s. Hey, somebody did just text me. A friend of ours is coming out there right now, Dunaway, and they're like, is he exaggerating the wind, or how bad is the wind?
Well, you guys tell me. I mean, it's 20 to 30, so it's only 20 to 30. It's not a tornado or a hurricane, but it's constant. I've got my bag sitting on my tripod because it's flown it over 3 times since I moved to this location, which is right here. I wanted to show you you can't really see them a lot.
Yeah.
All the Heisman Trophy statues. They got a ton of them,
Yeah. So every Heisman winner has a statue there behind you.
Yeah. Exactly. Like Kyler Murray's is life size.
I bet.
Yeah. They've got 7 of them. 6 of them I knew. I didn't know I think Vessels is his name. But Steve Owen, who I guess they named the field after.
Owen Field, yeah.
Yeah. And then you have Sam Bradford right here. Kyler Murray's next. Then Jason White, the Vessels guy, Owens. And down on the other side, the great Billy Sims. And I got my picture taken with the greatest quarterback on the planet, Baker Mayfield, down there. Baker looks like he's bald, but really it's the headband he has on. The headband did not translate to the statue very well.
Yeah, I think as we've learned, statues are hard to pull off.
I mean, it's still hard for me to believe that Oklahoma has never won a playoff game. And look, I know we've only been in this playoff era since 2014.
They've had their shots,
yeah,
though.
But I mean, again, this is their 5th appearance.
Yeah.
So does it feel like these fans are starving, Dunaway? I mean, those 3 didn't look like they were, but
I'll tell you one thing, they were not thirsty.
Did it say hard to kill or hard to fill? I did not see the sweatshirt.
I mean, she went ghost. The other 2 were non-brand beer sponsors. So I grabbed the one that they were drinking that I knew sponsored our show.
They seemed really exciting. I can tell why you don't like doing the man on the street stuff.
Yeah, that was tough. That one was tough.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. I'll be honest with you. I'm not good.
Yeah,
and they know it from the get-go. It's like a dog seeing fear, right?
Yes.
Dogs can tell when you're scared. When I'm doing man on the
who's
street,
this
they're
awkward dildo?
When I'm uncomfortable, they're uncomfortable.
Yeah, I love that
Dunaway
Dunaway decided to break the man on the street, his fear man on the street with those 3.
Yeah.
It looked like they had no personality whatsoever. Jim may as well have picked one of the statues. Go talk to the Steve Owen statue and see if he's any better.
Well, that's my luck. I said at the bar last night, right? Not that not that I'm on the market or that I'm really great to look at, but there's the bar literally last night. There were 2 guys at one end in cowboy hats. And then they had to be a group of women having their Christmas party. And they were probably 28 to 32-year-olds, all fairly good looking. 8 of them.
Fairly. So,
and then there were
6
then there were 2 open seats.
Right.
So I sat at the one closest to the wall, and then all of a sudden the 2 people that sat next to me, 60-something-year-old women waiting to get a to-go order, and then bitching that they didn't put enough bread in there. They're like, we need more bread to go. And I was like, of all the people sitting at the bar, you are the 2 people that sat
Okay,
next to me.
the Christmas party of the group of 28 to 32 fairly good looking, how many estimate how many in that party?
Of people? It was 8
people.
Of them. Yeah, it was 8 of them sitting at the bar.
So 8 of them. In your opinion, how many look better than Sydney Sweeney?
7 of the 8. I mean, you got to look at her a little closer, man.
Oh, he tries. Lance is all about that.
This just ain't me. Like she's not a 1 seed for me. But where you are on her is so far off.
You two are way off on her. Dunaway,
like who's the movie she's in? With the other girl, the other girl's so much better looking than her.
Well, Tyler talked about that. They're both controversial figures. Tyler thinks this is going to be a disaster of a movie.
You think the Amanda Seyfried chick is better looking than Sydney Sweeney?
Yes.
No way.
Look at her face, man. Come on.
Dunaway, this hour presented by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken.
God, I'd kill for some Champy's chicken right now.
I bet you would.
2 reasons. 1, I know it'd be piping hot because he cooks it to order. 2, it means I'd be nestled in that nice little store in Alabaster, Alabama, right there up of Highway 119. And I would enjoy that, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales and so much more. Get a big batch of food, take it home, and watch Alabama roll to victory tonight. It's all right there. Highway 119, Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com.
And also want to tell you about our friends at Fractional Financial. If you have a small to mid-sized business in Alabama, Georgia, East Tennessee, or the Carolinas, you're looking for that CFO service designed for businesses that need expertise, call our friend Rod Smallwood at Fractional Financial. Rod and his team provide expertise in cash management, budgets and projections, accounting, payroll, annual reports. Fractional Financial does it all. Not your typical contract CFO service. Fractional Financial works with clients face-to-face so they can make those informed, data-driven decisions to get their business to the next level. Contact them today, 704-614-2083, or visit them online, fractionalfinancial.net.
So we were discussing, what are you doing now? Why are you moving your camera?
I was going to try to zoom up to the flag, but I don't know if I can flip this around. I don't guess I can.
But show us how strong the wind is.
Can you see those flags?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're straight out.
I mean, I do exaggerate on this show a lot, but I mean,
do the old golf, pick up some grass, and let's see what the grass does.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
We're
Ready?
not going to be able to see this.
It flies away so fast.
No,
it's very underwhelming, but
no, it moved.
It moved.
Yeah.
If you were,
I mean, I'm trying to. This is the ground level.
Hey, that shit's kicking.
It is. Yeah, we're getting after it. If you were playing golf right now, is this a 2-club win, 3-club win? Help me out here.
Oh, this is easily 3 for me, 2 for you.
Okay. The 3-club win for Dunaway, so it is a strong win if people keep asking. I was,
but y'all dress however you want to dress. I mean, I've underdressed. I'll go ahead and tell you.
Right.
I can't feel my feet. I've got my boots on.
What else would you put on?
Yeah, you've got on 3 layers.
A
helmet,
a sweater, and a dress shirt.
Well, yeah, but that's.
I guess I could have wore a tie. I don't know.
No, you don't need a tie. It's the college football playoffs, it's not a funeral.
I got corduroys on. I was going to go with some nice rollback pants, but they were too thin, so I wore some cords.
Yeah,
and that's fine. But it's my feet, and I got boots on. I can't feel either one of my toes, and my fingernails are really white. Is that a sign of frostbite?
Early sign, but you've only got 15 more minutes with it, so
I think that's more of a stroke sign.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this. We were talking about Texas A&M a moment ago. This is we talked about it yesterday. Biggest game in Texas A&M football history, right?
I think that's fair.
Okay.
I think Texas A&M fans would maybe take us back to 1939 after the Mike Elko presser there. But
I don't even know who they were playing then. But Dunaway, biggest game Texas A&M football history tomorrow, right?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Biggest Miami game in at least 20 years?
Oh, yeah. I mean, since
the 2002 national championship.
I mean, it has been that long.
23 years.
23 years Dunaway for Miami, right?
Is this even in the top 50 biggest games in Alabama history?
Well, let's go.
No.
Okay. But I was looking at the rest of the playoffs. Biggest game in Ole Miss football history since the 1960s, Jim.
For sure.
Right?
I would say it's the biggest game, because it's Tulane, it's not going to resonate, but it's the biggest game in Ole Miss history because the 60s was a different sport. That's not even the modern era of college football anymore.
Yeah, if we're gonna flush the 1930s Texas A&M, we can probably flush the 1960s Ole Miss.
Yeah,
probably the biggest game in Ole Miss history.
I think that's fair. And then the final game, I mean, obviously for JMU, for Tulane, and for Oregon, probably a top 10 all-time game.
Yeah. And then you move to the next round. Regardless of who wins Oregon, James Madison, it'll be Oregon. That's the biggest game in Texas Tech football history.
For sure.
Regardless of who wins Alabama, Oklahoma, biggest game in Indiana football history.
For sure.
Yeah, they're in the Rose Bowl,
Yeah, I mean, and it's the college football playoffs. Now, it's not going to resonate for Georgia or Ohio State or Alabama or Oklahoma, as you said. But, I mean, I was just thinking about that. We have got a lot of programs where this is their biggest game ever or their biggest game in at least 20 or 25 years this weekend and next week. I mean, it's some of these teams, I just don't know how they're going to handle the stage. Like, Indiana so far has handled the stage well. I don't know. I think the biggest question mark is Miami and Texas A&M. Miami because of their coach, A&M because of their history.
Yeah, and look, and Miami and A&M are here for the first time. Again, go back last year. I think Indiana, that was kind of the training wheels came off after finally getting there, losing to Notre Dame, and you saw winning on the road against Oregon, winning the Big Ten championship, and now we'll see what they're able to do in the Rose Bowl.
I agree with that. I mean, can you handle the rarefied air of being at the mountaintop of college football? That's the question. Even for Alabama, the program, yes, but for Ty Simpson, who hasn't played his best football lately, can he get it back? Can this defense that has played so good, can Kane Womack? I mean, this is the biggest game Kane Womack's ever coached in. Can he call a good game like he's been calling a good game all year? And I mean, there's a lot of Brent Venables. It's the biggest game for Brent Venables. He got this team to the playoffs, but we talked about it all week. If you don't win this first one, does it feel like you really made the playoffs? Especially out of the SEC. So I think it's pretty big for Brent too.
More interesting for me and for a lot of our listeners, I'm sure, are we going to get good games? Last year, the 4 home teams in the first round won by an average. They were 4-0, won by an average of over 19 points per game. These 4 home teams in the first round have combined 27-2. We mentioned that stat earlier this week. We know there's probably going to be 2 blowouts.
with JMU and Oregon and Tulane and Ole Miss. But do you guys think we have one possession games with the other two games, the one you're at tonight and tomorrow morning in College Station?
I do feel like, Jim, both these will be one possession games. I think in the fourth quarter, both these games will be completely undecided, be up in the air. I think you got one possession fourth quarter games for sure.
I do. I think it is my belief that both of those games, too, will be very close. And that's why, the wind, the kicking game where Alabama has been this year, both punting and the field goals, going to be so crucial tonight. And I'll say this, too, about Kalen DeBoer, who oftentimes they're very aggressive going forward on 4th and 2, 4th and 3, that type of situation. So if the winds will play a factor in it, but, taking that 3 points in a game like this one tonight may be the best thing to do. It definitely be the conservative thing to do, but they usually like to be aggressive. And who knows, maybe the wind and the shaky kicking will keep Kalen DeBoer gutsy on 4th down, and maybe that'll end up being the difference tonight, that they make one of those and get a touchdown. But it'll be interesting to see how usually the aggressive Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb, if they're down, say, on the 21-yard line of Oklahoma and it's 4th and 3, do they roll Talty out to kick it, or are they playing to try to keep a drive going and trying to get a touchdown? I think that usually lets you know if a coach thinks it's going to be a low-scoring, one-possession game, or if they're going to need a lot of points.
Now, let me play the other side of this. Like, if you are headed into the wind, which that wind is blowing from end zone to end zone, if I've got the field set up right there, Jim. Am I right about that?
You do. Okay. That is correct. It is blowing. I don't know if it's north or south, but it is from one goalpost to the other.
Yeah,
yes.
So that may actually limit one of Oklahoma's weapons here in Tate Sandell. I mean,
sure.
if you're into that wind, his range is shorter than what it normally is when you say into that wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he could be kicking it from 70.
Well, yeah. I mean, if he's with the wind, all of a sudden he becomes a much bigger weapon.
You heard Corey Reamer when we asked him the question, what concerns you more, Alabama's inability to consistently run the football or how bad special teams are? And he said special teams.
Oh, yeah. That's a huge, huge concern. I think Jim's phone just died, by the way.
I think it's so important. You see how cold it is out there in Norman for not only Alabama to get this fast start, just for confidence in getting the offense back in sync, but taking that crowd out of it in that cold. And then also Oklahoma, as bad as their offense is, do you realize how bad they are in the fourth quarter offensively? They're 125th nationally, only averaging 4 points per game in the fourth quarter.
So if you can sneak a lead into the fourth quarter, if you're Alabama.
Oh, you should be in good spot.
You feel like
Let me ask you what are these numbers, because DeBoer is 16-0 as a head coach when his teams rush for 100+ at Alabama. On the other side, Brent Venables is 24-0 when his defenses allow 20 or fewer. What is a better chance of happening? Alabama scoring less than 20 or Alabama rushing for 100+?
Better chance of happening is Alabama's. Hang on. Better chance of happening. I think Alabama's more likely to score over 20 than rush for 100. Can I answer it that way?
Well, no, because I asked you what was a better chance of having Alabama score under 20.
Or rush for 100?
Yeah.
Better chance they rush for 100 because I think they'll score over 20. I think.
Yeah, I think if they score over 20, I think they're in a pretty good spot.
I mean, they played like crap for a lot of not like crap, but they had a lot of turnovers.
But they did. But do you not agree that the offense, although they lost that game, and that might have been the turning point, the offense at that point, sans the turnovers, was playing much better than the offense we've seen.
Yes, 400 yards of offense against Oklahoma's defense was a lot.
Yeah, and again, the last 2 weeks they've gone under 300 yards of offense against both Auburn and Georgia.
One thing that would warm Jimmy D up is a little company distilling.
Oh, that's what he needs right now in the pocket. He didn't dress well because he doesn't have a pint of company distilling right there. Look, big news, Alabama. Company distilling now available at ABC stores across the state. If you've been waiting to try whiskey as good as the company you keep, this is your moment. We had an activation this past Wednesday at the Odie's location. A lot of people came out to try the company distilling. We had the apple and the maple. Both are fantastic. We brought the crew in the back room, some of the company distilling as well. Have you tried it yet, Tyler?
I haven't gotten a chance to try it yet, but I've got the maple sitting on the counter.
Okay, there you go. Tyler will probably bust into that this weekend. But look, if you're at a local ABC store, your local package store, ask for it by name. If they don't have it, tell them to get it. For more information on this great product, great stocking stuffer, and great to take to any of your Christmas parties this weekend, companydistilling.com/Alabama.
When it comes time to remodel that room in your house or even your entire house, it is our guy Brad Bell that's going to do it for you, okay? AlabamaBathRemodels.com, AlabamaBathRemodels.com. When it came time for that in the Brown house, my wife Jennifer scoured the internet looking for the right person for the job. Brad Bell is the guy she picked. I'm glad she did. His crews did tremendous work. He specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. That's his specialty. Not all he does, but I point out it's his specialty because you are going to spend a lot of time in those rooms. You want them to look great and be functional. And when you go to sell your house, you're going to make some of the money back on those rooms at Alabama Bath Remodels. AlabamaBathRemodels.com, AlabamaBathRemodels.com, or give Brad a call. 205-422-1758, 205-422-1758. He's a massive college football fan as well, so when you call him, talk a little college football with Brad. 205-422-1758 or AlabamaBathRemodels.com. That's AlabamaBathRemodels.com. Tyler, can you give me cut number 14? Jim mentioned this. I was going to go to this soundbite right after he mentioned this because you mentioned the magnitude of this moment for Brent Venables. We talk about coaches that are under pressure. Almost everybody starts their list with Kalen DeBoer. You get to Brent Venables pretty quick on that list, though.
Well, just because you look in 4 full seasons, he's had 2 6-win seasons and 2 10-win seasons, and I think the inconsistency is killing Oklahoma fans. Look, their expectation, Bob Stoops won basically 9 or 10 games every year. Lincoln Riley was doing the same thing. They were winning conference championships at a high rate, and now they're back to where they want to be, but you want to do something with this.
Yeah, so here is the Oklahoma coach talking about the magnitude of the moment and not letting it be overwhelming now that you're in the college football playoff.
Yeah, there's excitement and passion and energy. For us, it's all the same. We've had a biggest game in the world in the history of football, whether it's for Brent Venables or it's for the Oklahoma Sooners or it's for John Mateer, whoever. We've had that. That's how we are all the time, anyway. And you don't. Oh my gosh, we got. If we don't win, that's not our mindset. You gain confidence through your preparation, your detail, just putting the work in. And you always recognize you're at a place like Oklahoma, all the games are really, really big. This is really cool. Do you not, recognize how unique it is for our community and our fan base and, our families, our players' families? Yeah, I mean, that's real too. And but all that's for naught if we don't, put the work in and, again, get to the closer to game week, man. It ain't like, oh, no, what if you make this mistake or that? That isn't the mindset either. Man, it's a matter of fact, go for broke, confident, believe in yourself like we have all year. We've got 2 great teams going at it, and it's going to be, one possession game. It's going to be a game that every play has tremendous magnitude, and, and then again, nobody is going to win or lose by themselves. It's going to take all of us, working together, like it has all year long.
Well, I mean, he's under a ton of pressure, and I get everything he's saying right there, but I know he can feel that pressure.
Look, he's made his money on Alabama. I mean, Alabama, when you look at a kryptonite in conference, it's kind of been Oklahoma. I mean, they've got the second best winning percentage against Alabama all time outside of Texas for teams that have played them 5 or more times.
That's right.
They're 5-2-1 all time against Alabama. Venables, we brought this up 3-3 against top 10 teams. 2 of those wins against Alabama.
It is one of those games where you just wonder sometimes one team has another team's number, and you point out those numbers. Oklahoma has been a tough spot for Alabama.
Well, I mean, last night watching that game, and they continue to point out, Sam Darnold against the Rams is awful. They were talking about that's his kryptonite. And then, this stuff is going to flip, though, sooner or later, because we had another situation. Georgia against Alabama. That was Kirby's kryptonite. Sooner or later it does flip. Is this a night for Alabama? I don't know, but I don't think it's enough, and I could be wrong here, that it's in Alabama's players' heads. I do think for Georgia it was probably in their heads. Now, look, a lot of these players were there last year in Norman, and they were obviously there, 6 weeks ago in Tuscaloosa.
Because a lot of that record goes way back before these players were ever. It's not like Alabama and Oklahoma play every year.
This has all been recent. I mean, think about the home and home in early 2000s. That was 2 wins.
You had the Sugar Bowl, and what was that after the?
It was the night we got delayed.
Yes, we were trying to get out to
it was
the
the
Rose
Trevor
Bowl,
Knight
right?
Sugar Bowl in 2013.
Because we were trying to get out to
that
watch.
That was the third win, and then fourth was last year, and then the fifth was this year. So all within the last 20 years.
In the last 20 years. So it's just kind of weird how this is going with Alabama and Oklahoma. It's been one of those weird series.
And it's another one of those things. And again, best team doesn't always win. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Rams fan, but best team didn't win last night. And when you watch this game earlier in Tuscaloosa,
Alabama was the better team.
Alabama looked like the much better team.
Yeah, and they did not win the game. Turnovers and bad special teams. And that's how normally, not normally, but that's one of the ways frequently the best team can't win is when you turn it over and you just have bad special teams.
The crazy thing, in the old college football playoff, and I guess it was so much different when you had the BCS with 2 and, the original format in 2014 with 4, teams were on a heater coming into the college football playoff. Both Oklahoma and Alabama are limping in, and it has been defense that has carried them.
Yeah. Let's do the spotlight, and we're going to talk about Oklahoma's arch rival. A couple of interesting stories from them in the spotlight. Hit it, Tyler.
The college football spotlight.
It is the Shannara Spotlight, presented each day by our guy Alexander Shannara. Shannara Trial Attorneys. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, Shannara.com. Shannara.com. That is where you go. You know that he handles personal injury claims, but also fire and storm damage claims, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. And you find yourself in need of a lawyer, Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shannara.com, Shannara.com. Interesting story from Texas yesterday, followed by another one today. Yesterday, Pete Kwiatkowski, Coach K they call him, is out as defensive coordinator. They don't waste time naming his replacement, and it's Will Muschamp back at Texas.
Wow.
I didn't think were they that bad defensively to fire a coordinator?
Well, I think the problem was early it was their defense was carrying them when Arch was really struggling, and then the defense, for whatever reason, just turned on a dime middle of the season.
Yeah.
Started giving up a ton of yards, ton of points, and it just didn't make a lot of sense. Now, I thought that against A&M, I thought the defense was back dialed in.
Yeah, scoring defense, 19 a game. That's not terrible. 6 in the SEC. Total defense, they gave up 335 a game, 9th in the SEC. I mean, it's just not awful defensive numbers.
No, but
you're right, it was a kind of a tale of two seasons.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons a lot of people had Texas as your preseason number 1, and a lot of people, including you, thought that they would win a national championship was this defense was going to be lights out, and then Arch Manning was going to be good enough, to make this offense work. And as soon as if they could have combined this, if Arch could have played like he played the latter half of the season, and the defense could have played like they did the front half of the season, it's a college football playoff team that is scary right now. Not only in it, but scary.
The other story coming out of Texas, and perhaps this has happened before, but this one is going to be the one that gets the most attention. On 3 reported this morning that Arch Manning has agreed to take a pay cut to help his team win a championship. Now, before you put too much into this, he's only taking less of the house settlement money that will be handed out to the players. Arch still makes a lot in his own deals. So this is almost like the quarterback that restructures his deal to help his team out. Yeah, but you're also making $40 million in endorsements off the field. It's easy for you to do this.
The Warby Parker, the Viore. We're not even seeing local deals in Austin. It's no telling what kind of car he's driving for free. So, look, I think it, PR-wise, it looks good for Arch. And, look, Arch has the luxury of being able to give up some of those dollars.
Yeah. Now, again, it's going to make a lot of headlines because it's Arch. I don't know if this is – I don't know the amount of money that he would be forfeiting here, but to his credit, he said, I want to help my team win a championship. I'll take less of what you can give everybody. Just give me less of it. And I mean, that's a good teammate.
Yeah, look, I think we're numb to it because, you hear Tom Brady, restructuring a deal to make sure that he's able to get more skill guys coming in when he was with New England. And I think a lot of that, we're desensitized to it, right? Because you're like, okay, this guy's worth $100 million. He's going to give up a couple of $1 million to help his team. Is that really that big of a deal? For a college athlete, a little bit different. But, look, You think Arch is ever going to starve?
No, I think he'll be just fine. Arch Manning will be. Dr. B gets us to the break here. We'll come back and do trash.
Yeah, Dr. B, best in the business. Again, if you're starting to thin out, I'm speaking from experience. Happened to me back in 21. I asked around. Dr. Beckenstein is the name everyone mentioned, so I went to see Dr. B. I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. That is it. Hair is more than doubled in thickness. Doesn't matter if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, or 50s. Whenever it starts, be preemptive, maintain, grow it back. T3's got that new test. It's easy. It's painless. It's affordable. Takes seconds to perform. T3hair.net for more information.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
We interrupt this program for breaking news from the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
This hour of the show presented by Champy's, world-famous fried chicken. Champy'sChicken.com. Highway 119 in Alabaster is where you find our guy Sterling and the crew there at Champy's, world-famous fried chicken. They've opened the doors. They are ready to go with you at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champyschicken.com. Those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, great po' boys, the great sides, the drinks with Megan at the bar. They just do tremendous work there at Champy's, and you can go enjoy it for yourself. Highway 119 in Alabaster. See more at champyschicken.com, champyschicken.com. There is a discussion that's broken out in the chat room about the level of confidence in Kalen DeBoer. I find this interesting, and I do wonder how many Alabama fans are here, because I think it gets played up in the national media, and I do hear some of this locally. I've talked to a lot of people, and you've brought this up. There's still some hesitation on DeBoer. Maybe not I want to fire him, but I'm not sure I want to marry him yet, right? There is some of that among the Alabama fan base. I think you're kidding yourself if you don't think there is. The national media plays it up like, and I have seen this time and time again, if Kalen DeBoer loses this game tonight, I don't know that I've seen any national media member say he's going to be fired. There are those that say it will be an easy exit for him to Michigan if that happens. I don't know if I believe that either. But it's the life of a coach at a place like Alabama. You lose a game like this, you're going to hear about it. I mean, you're going to feel it. There's going to be some fire going into next year. Not a hot seat type situation, but Alabama fans expect more than to be in the 8-9 game and to lose it.
Oh, I think even back to Mike Elko, I think Brent Venables, I think these guys, Mario Cristobal, any of these guys lose this game, fans are going to be upset, and people are going to be like, well, what the hell? How do we lose in the first round of the playoffs? And again, only one of these teams can advance in each of these games. But when you look at the entirety of, what Kalen DeBoer has done over his career, the first 2 years haven't been disastrous. The problem is you're following up, as Chris Doering said earlier today, the best to ever do it, Nick Saban. Nick Saban's final game was against an eventual national champion in the Rose Bowl, a tight game that came down to a final play. And then you go 4 losses last year. You didn't make a 12-team playoff, which seemed impossible for Alabama fans. And then you kind of limp into this one, and if you're to lose in the first round to a team that's already beaten you, that you look better than that team, then Alabama fans are going to be like, how in the hell have we lost 4 games in back-to-back years when Nick Saban only did it in his first year? So the look's not going to be great, but again, the landscape is much more difficult in today's college football.
Yeah, give me, Tyler, can you give me cut 9, please? Because here was the response in the chat room I want to bring up. It's Michael. He says, I'm fine with DeBoer. I'm good with DeBoer. I think we need to make sure Grubb is the guy. Boy, he looks so good at a part of this season, but the struggles of the offense lately, I think there are a lot of people, and this may be entirely unfair to Ryan Grubb, and probably is, to be honest with you, because a lot has changed at this location. But if you want to say, I'm not sure Ryan Grubb is the guy, there are people that could look at the Seahawks and say, boy, year over year, they look a lot different offensively. Now they changed quarterbacks. Now, for some games, that's been really good with Sam Darnold. And some games going from Geno Smith to Sam Darnold has been really good. And for some games, it hasn't looked so good. But you cannot deny this Seattle offense. Jackson Smith and Jigba, although he was hidden for the first 3 quarters last night, has just become a dominant wide receiver. And their 1-2 punch of Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet out of that backfield, the offense is just completely different from what it was under Ryan Grubb. And then you go to what you've seen recently, and it is kind of head-scratching. I mean, you scored 38 points last night, granted in overtime, but still 38 points with 3 turnovers? Seahawks turned over 3 times?
3 times, yeah.
And still scored 38 points on maybe the best team in the NFL. I mean, that was an excellent offensive performance last night. And they were a bad offensive team last year. The Seahawks were. Again, now it was Geno Smith versus Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold's not exactly a world beater.
Well, and let's not forget Ryan Grubb was fired.
That's right.
That's right. If I'm Ryan Grubb, you've got a great relationship with Kalen DeBoer. There's no problem there. If I'm involved with the special teams with Alabama,
that's the one. Yeah,
I am sweating. And look, and I think the same again. I'll bring it back to the Rams. Rams special team coordinator's in a lot of trouble. I will be. Sean McVay's very loyal.
Survive the day.
He'll survive the day, but he will not survive the year.
All right, here's Ryan Grubb on the importance of deep shots tonight against Oklahoma.
With the struggles in the running game, how important is it to take deep shots early in the game, maybe to open up the defense a little bit, just to kind of maybe announce your presence there? Is that a strategy you kind of use?
I've used them all. I've used throw the deep ball early and run later, run early, throw the deep ball after. So I think some of it obviously comes down to whatever schematic advantage you think you have against a particular defense and what they give you early in the game or don't give you. And I think sometimes there's a feel out process during the game, and you can see what you think you have success with. But, for us, whether the ball's going down the field or running the football, we got to be more consistent with the ball moving forward, period. Whether it's an explosive play, 5-yard run, we got to get first downs and be consistent on early downs.
So,
again, different quarterbacks. Alabama's offense was better last year. Different quarterbacks.
How big of a factor do you think Jam Miller will be? I'm looking at his total right now.
Yeah,
rush
this
total.
is an official Vegas total on him?
Yeah, 35.5.
35.5 yards?
Yeah. 35.5 rushing yards.
For a starting running back?
Look, there's not an expectation for any kind of offense in this game. Right now you've got passing touchdowns. The over-under is 1 for both Simpson and Mateer. Mateer's passing yards, 203.5. Germ's receiving yards, he's got the highest in the game at 60.5.
Yeah, they're expecting a bloodbath here.
He's got by far the most receptions at 5.5. Satania does have 4.5. But the rushing yards, Xavier Robinson, 37.5 for Oklahoma. Mateer, 35.5. Jam Miller, 35.5.
Yeah.
Miller's got to go over 35.5.
If he can't get 35.5, boy, they are just running into a wall at that point. Yeah. All right, Inverness Country Club bringing you part of the show as we continue to talk about this.
You mentioned lunch. What about lunch at the Inverness Country Club? You guys down for that?
I've thought about it, yeah. I was going to recommend that one, actually.
Okay, I think I might be able to do that with you guys. Yeah, I'm going to swing by and get Jack Taylor, and we'll meet you guys there. But just last Friday, I had one of the best grilled cheeses. And I know, look, for a lot of people, that's not a high bar. The best I've ever seen is in the movie Chef.
Okay.
John Favreau makes this for Scarlett Johansson. You know what I'm talking about?
I wish I had that grilled cheese. I don't know.
It's a masterpiece.
What went on that set to make that grilled cheese look as good as it is.
But you want it.
You would like that movie, by the way.
Okay. Too.
Yeah, it just looks fantastic. But anyway, the one I had last Friday at the Inverness Country Club with that side of the turkey noodle soup, not chicken noodle soup, turkey noodle soup. I saw some people in there getting the smash burgers. They were raving about that.
I've had that. It's very good.
Yeah. Just great food at the Inverness Country Club. Look, the best days happen there. They've got memberships for everyone. It's a great holiday gift. If you've been trying to decide, hey, look, I want to get a membership because I'm a big golfer. How's the wife going to react? She's going to love it because they've got the newly renovated clubhouse and dining. They've got the fitness center, and child care right there on site is so big. To take a tour of this unbelievable club, go online, ICCalabama.com.
And our guy, Alexander Shannara, Trial Attorneys, Shannara.com. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, Alexander Shannara, Trial Attorneys is where you go. They've recovered more than $2 billion for their clients. That's $2 billion for their clients. They can do the same for you. They have done that by sticking to some principles that Alexander Shannara has lived with for his entire life, and he's transitioned them into his business, and it shows integrity, mastery, passion, and success. It's what he lives by. More than 150 lawyers, 500 dedicated team members, over 24 years built up right there at Shannara Trial Attorneys. Shannara.com, Shannara.com. Hit it, Tyler.
Bag up, Terry. Put in reverse, Terry.
What you doing?
Put in reverse. Oh, Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry?
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Oh, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The weekend is here. Nothing like some delicious Bud Light to accompany you while you sit back on the couch and watch all of your college football and NFL action all weekend long. We start first, police in Montreal, a city I've always wanted to go to, by the way.
I've never been to Montreal. Been to Toronto, very nice city. I've heard Montreal's great, too.
They are investigating a bizarre holiday heist after a group of dressed up Santas and his elves allegedly stole $3,000 worth of groceries and gave them away to people in need.
Oh, the old Robin Hood, huh?
Yeah, the Robin Hood style stunt unfolded the night of December 15th in a Metro grocery store, quickly going viral across social media. Group calling itself the Robins des Ruelles.
By the way, they speak French in Montreal.
Yeah, this is the Robins of the Alleys. Claimed responsibility in a statement posted online. The activists say several people dressed as Santa, along with 40 masked accomplices in elf costumes, entered the store and shoplifted thousands of dollars in food. All I can think about, you remember that time we went to SEC Championship and we went to the, what was it, the Cuckoo Room?
Yeah.
And it was after a Christmas party, and there were so many people dressed up like Santa and elves.
I do remember that, yes.
It was surreal.
Santa's helpers. Yes.
Yeah, underground bar. Everybody just dressed up like that. Now, according
some of the young ladies did not have on enough clothes to live in the North Pole. That's for sure.
Yep, you're right.
I do remember that.
According to the group, the groceries were taken to be redistributed to struggling Montrealers. Some items were reportedly left in the public square at the base of a Christmas tree, along with the statement entitled, "When Hunger Justifies the Means." They say the rest will be handed out through community food banks. The statement framed the theft as a political call to action and was shared on behalf of the group by another local activist organization. Montreal police confirmed they are investigating a theft under $5,000 at the metro location.
You know, Robin Hood was a fun little story when you were a kid, but then when you see it in real life, you're like, oh, that sucks. But when you were a kid and you were reading Robin Hood, you're like, man, I'm all for Robin Hood. But when you see it play out in real life, you're like, that guy needs to be arrested.
Right.
It kind of changes when it's real.
A migrant on the run from police tried to disguise himself in a Christmas nativity scene.
Okay.
As the fourth of the three wise men.
Wait a minute. There are only three in the story.
Now, the man was being chased into the town of Galatone, southern Italy, when he tried to trick officers into thinking he was part of the life-size nativity scene. Now, the unnamed 38-year-old from Ghana was fleeing from police after a conviction for assault and resisting arrest. The man attempted to blend in, raising his arms and holding still as he tried to pull off.
Picture?
This is a real picture.
Hilarious, quick-thinking move of becoming a human statue. I don't even know what to say here. at least try to take some of the clothes, right?
I love the creativity.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's.
Yeah, he had previously been sentenced to 9 months, 15 days by a court.
Why do you think he chose that pose? You know.
Yeah, it's almost like the Michael Jackson Thriller
I know.
video pose.
Yeah. That's
anyway,
fantastic.
They got him.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, they did rearrest him.
Very easily, by the way. He's got his hand stuck out to get the
go
cups.
for like a wax statue look.
Maybe so, just freeze.
Yeah, I would have hid behind the hay. I would have tried to put one of the
maybe go down on a knee like you're worshiping Jesus, baby Jesus, something.
So we've got a hardcore gamer is being branded as a hotel quote guest from hell after leaving his room in such a mess. It says it would make most streamers blush. Now, the shocking find was made after the man finally checked out of the hotel after 2 years where staff said he spent nearly all of his time gaming inside of the room. Let's go on and put this guy on the island. Island. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yes.
This guy cannot contribute to society.
I gagged.
Yeah, he is. Ugh.
I gagged.
Now, the bathroom, even worse. You see everything here. Mountain of toilet paper.
I mean, look at her. She's got on a mask and gloves. Like, baby, you can't just throw a match
burn
in there.
The room.
Hazmat suit to go in there.
Yeah, throw a match in.
Now, according to The Sun, the hotel specializes in long stays for esports players, offering private rooms equipped with high-end gaming PCs, fast internet, and dedicated gaming chairs. Hotel employees said the man was rarely seen during his stay. I guess so.
You think?
Some workers reportedly did not even know what he looked like, as he almost never left the room. Staff described him as a, quote, hardcore gamer. I guess so, right?
Yeah. Guy
now, staff
stops.
claim the guest still owes more than 10 days in unpaid fees, totaling roughly $400. Hotel management said the matter has not been reported to police, and they currently do not plan to pursue further action. This dude must have something on somebody in the hotel.
Yeah, I would think
why
so.
would you not pursue this?
Yeah.
He destroyed it.
Boy, that is rough.
Yeah,
right
that
there.
is
I can't
disgusting.
even look, man. I can't even look.
And finally, a Chinese restaurant owner is going viral for the elaborate mecha suit he created out of scrap metal, which he wears on delivery runs to bring customers food in style. Now, imagine this. You order delivery for your to-go restaurant. An hour later, a person wearing a futuristic mecha suit shows up at your door, food in hand. That's exactly what customers experience when they order from a restaurant owner known online as Gasse Armor.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Close enough.
Yeah.
He's got 117,000 followers on whatever this Chinese social media platform, Douyin. He's been making the rounds online thanks to viral videos showing him out and about in Beijing while wearing all-black suit, carrying out tasks like delivering food, walking his dog, and even picking up treats for himself. Now, the exosuit looks straight out of anime, right?
Anime.
Yeah.
Tyler's
boasting
favorite.
aerodynamic shoulder pads, a helmet, spring-loaded powered stilts to increase his walking speed and stride length. Suit's creator carefully crafted the futuristic suit out of scrap metal, which he sourced from a local junkyard and designed himself. Seems like a lot of work, man, just to get a little attention.
Yeah,
here.
I agree. I mean, I'm gonna need a lot more business to wear that thing.
If you're working as a food delivery person in China, just come up with something to make your life enjoyable.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm going to not order food from that guy. I'm going to do the opposite.
Do you get better tips?
I imagine he does. Just like making people smile.
Well, the functionality doesn't look really good on that suit.
So there was a small clip. It wasn't a great clip, but these legs he's got on, like he's got almost like pogo sticks.
Yeah, I've seen those.
As stilts.
Yeah.
And so he's just striding and bouncing.
Yeah, it looks miserable.
At the same time.
I like that he's also got a dog with him.
I mean, he looks like a transformer.
Yeah, he does.
He's got the predator dreadlocks too.
Brown, would you cut that leash and let it run?
I would not be in that suit. I could probably see that. That suit also looks hot, by the way.
Hey, look, if you, this poor guy, you know what he needs? He needs the gift of relaxation
That is
from our
trash,
friends
yes.
at the Woodhouse Day Spa. You can get it right now. Look, you've been procrastinating. We're coming up to the 11th hour. It's Friday, December 19th as I do this read right here. Look, if you've got that person in your life, give them the gift of relaxation. Maybe it's the wife, maybe it's the girlfriend, maybe it's mom, maybe it's the sister, maybe it's your husband. Hey, look, they've got something that fits everyone, 70 different options, waxing, nail services, massages. You can go online, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. You can order 24/7 there or stop into that beautiful location, Summit Shopping Centers. Tell Stuart and the great staff, the guys from the Next Round sent you.
I don't know if it's because it's the college football playoff or it's a Friday, or I don't know. I have had a really difficult time getting a feel for this game, Alabama and Oklahoma. And not that my feels are always right. In fact, they're probably wrong more than they're right, as you've seen from my Iron Bowl and SEC championship pick recently. But I always at least kind of have a feel, and it's just been tough on this game. I really can't get a good feel for it.
It is a tough game. The thing I would say, I don't think Alabama's special teams can get fixed. I don't think Oklahoma's offense can get fixed. But I do think Alabama's offense can get fixed.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, I think if protection can hold up, I think Ty Simpson can have him a night tonight. Look, he's going to need to take a little pressure off, and I think Jam Miller coming back in this lineup is going to help. You've got to get something from the run game. Like if you just get 80 yards, and
that
you
would
can
be
just
a huge win. Yeah,
keep them honest, and then Cuevas, what he can do, and then Germ needs to show back up, and maybe one or two big plays from Ryan Williams. This Alabama offense has a lot of potential. I'm not so sure on the Oklahoma side.
I mean, really, the only Oklahoma weapon. I mean, you want to talk about a disappointing player, Jay Knott. I mean, I thought that guy would be a 1,000-yard rusher for Oklahoma.
Yeah. Satania's good.
I was going to say that's the weapon they've got, right? Is Satania. I mean, that's the guy you gotta limit. Alabama secondary has done a good job of limiting guys. Most recently, the job Xavier Brown did on Cam Coleman. Now, I know Cam Coleman was a little bit banged up in the Iron Bowl, but Xavier Brown locked him down for a lot of that game.
Yeah, I mean, the scary thing is Oklahoma and the pressure they apply. And if you look at the last two outings for Ty Simpson, facing pressure, 7 of 23 against both Auburn and Georgia, that's 30%. That's not going to get it done tonight against this team.
A lot of people think it's going to be a rock fight, and first team to 20 or something like that could win this game. I don't know the number you think, like you would feel comfortable if you're Oklahoma or Alabama. I feel comfortable at this number.
I feel comfortable at 24.
24, yeah. I mean, Oklahoma, the first time they played, Alabama gave them every opportunity to get 24, and they couldn't.
Yeah, look, I wanted, watching these teams, 40.5 is such a low total. Want to play the under, but because it's so low, almost forced to play the over, just completely stayed away from this total.
Such a strange game. This college football playoff just still doesn't feel.
It's going to feel whole after this round.
Okay.
Whether it's Alabama or Oklahoma playing Indiana, both of those obviously have a fighting shot against the number 1 overall seed. And then A&M or Miami facing, who do they face in the second round? Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have really, really good games. Ole Miss, Georgia, Oregon, Texas Tech. I think once we get to 8, it's going to feel real.
Central State Bank bringing you part of the show today. You want a bank that is on your team? Central State Bank is that bank. They are big enough to meet every single need you have, but also small enough to know you. Why? Because they're in your community. They are part of your community. They know you at Central State Bank, and they've been doing it for more than 100 years. You don't do something that long without doing it well, and Central State Bank has done just that for more than 100 years. Big enough to meet your needs, small enough to know you, community-focused, Central State Bank, member FDIC. We've seen both these teams lay eggs. We've seen both these teams play well. So, if one of them lays an egg tonight, it makes this really easy. If they both play their best game, if they both play their whatever their A game is right now, I think Alabama wins this game. If both of them are playing their A games, I know you said it earlier, and I've always said this. People don't like to hear this. The best team doesn't always win the game. You can't just say, oh, well, they beat them earlier this year. They're the better team. Alabama's the better football. Most of this season, Alabama's been the better football
I would
team.
say this. Offense, Alabama. Defense, Oklahoma. Special teams, Oklahoma.
So why not say Alabama's a better team?
Head coaching, Alabama.
I agree.
Quarterback, Alabama. So, you combine it all, it's a coin flip game. Now, they've got home field advantage for whatever that's worth. We'll see.
Yeah, I anticipate this being a difficult environment for Alabama to play in.
I remember the one game I went to in Norman. It was extremely loud.
Yeah, and if you were with us earlier when Dunaway was with us, very windy and cold night. I do think that will impact the passing game, especially when you're going into the wind, and the kicking game for sure. That was a very, very strong wind blowing from end zone to end zone. So if you're going into that wind, passing game and kicking game is going to be very, very tricky. I expect, a shank punt. I expect a missed field goal. I expect a fluttering pass that hangs up too long and gets intercepted. You can see those.
But I'll tell you, man, Mateer doesn't have to play well for Oklahoma to win. Simpson has to play well for Alabama to win.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right. That is going to do it for the week. We are back live on Monday. Don't forget several things I want to mention to you here. First of all, right after the game, as the game is ending, Mick will go live on our channel, on the Next Round Live channel. You can get his post-game show live. He takes phone calls. He'll hang out with you and talk late into the night. So that is right after the game. Next Round Live on social media. All of Jim's coverage from out in Norman right there at Next Round Live on social media. And for us, give us a thumbs up on this video on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and set your alerts so you know when we're live. And on your audio downloads, please set automatic downloads so it downloads automatically. All those things help us a ton. We greatly appreciate your help. And we will see you live Monday, 9 a.m. on the Next Round.